Yeah, we're gonna go live in just a minute. Hi, everybody. I know it's an odd time, but I'm threading this around my my kid's school schedule, so family first. Magoo.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway. So anybody wants to walk, do it now.
I know words, I had the best words. Anonymous, really anonymous. Criminal, look, wait. Obama.
I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges.
Obama.
The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges.
Obama.
And God bless the United States.
Combat infantrymen. I hope they
deliberately, willfully, and with total premeditation.
No perverts.
stinks anyway.
You know, we just set another sock rocket. You saw that, right?
10,000 known or suspected gang members.
We're honored to have with us today our amazing Vice President, Mike Pence, and his wonderful wife, Karen.
Once it was reluctantly aroused. It was hard to get it aroused, and it is hard to get it aroused, but we got it aroused. They're not allowed to be offensive, unfortunately.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, it's a dickper.
What's a dickper?
To pee with.
A lot of very bad things are happening in Nicaragua.
All right, let's get started. Chat room, pop right up in there as quickly as you can. Hello, good morning, good day, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you. I'm sorry if this is off the normal schedule, but it's either that or eating into time with my kid. And so I'm sorry, but I love him best. You are the redheaded stepchild of my life, chat room and people watching the show. Hello. I'm in a different time zone, so it affects when that is versus when you are and that thing. So, anyways, I love you, and I'm doing my best to try and make up for some of the lost programming. And we will jump. Hi, good morning, chat room, and thank you for the super chats, and thank you for the support, and thank you for the love, and thank you for the where the hell is he? I appreciate that as well. I told you guys. I told you guys. I said what I say. I said that Trump was bad and it was just going to get worse. And I don't mean he's bad like the shit is bad. I mean bad like mentally decaying, physically collapsing, emotionally, psychologically, just under a blitz attack of emotions he's never experienced before and has no management structure for. Probably also has untreated PTSD from the shooting, and nobody around him gives a fuck enough to do anything about it, which again, under normal circumstances, I would pity a person for that, but you reap what you sow, and you surround yourself with people like that. I think most people in my crowd, I hope so, and certainly in the chat room with the rare maggot exception, and hi maggots, hi, welcome. Sometimes when I do an off-time show, we get more trolls, and I want to welcome you guys because you help us out in the algorithm. Most people have people they could turn to in a situation where they have gone through something horrendous that can at least be a friend during that period. Donald Trump doesn't have anybody like that. He's... I was about to say Joe Rogan on steroids, but Joe Rogan not on steroids, I suppose. Because, although I think he's probably on steroids of a different sort. Not the muscle building kind, but the kind that, they give you if you're kind of falling apart. For, when they inject it into your knees and your brainstem. So he surrounds himself with people who pride themselves on not surrounding themselves with people. So they're all like this weird kind of wealthy loner bullshit artists who, I don't know, I'm fine, fucking fine. I'm fine. This is fucking, don't worry about it. It's all for, emotionally, tears, whatever. I don't even know what those are, right? He, not only is he like that, but he attracts people like that. And I think when he goes through something like this, there's just nobody to turn to at all. And certainly not his family members. And I don't know if his kids are just as incapable because of how he raised them of dealing with this, of actually making sure he's okay. Because all they do is fucking congratulate him on being superhuman, which is just moronic. But I think emotionally they're not capable of dealing with it either. And they would be the one group you could actually sit with on this and go, it's just us because it's family. And that's why he has them in his business, right? Is because, there's a family trust. And he learned these words like from mobsters, and it doesn't apply to the gaggle of idiots that he has spawned onto the earth. So, yeah. But I'm enjoying the fact that Kamala, released her medical records and dared him to, and is using this unfit and unstable label for him. I think it absolutely applies. As we're about to find out, ladies and gentlemen, if we may, let's go not so live to the this was the Kristi Noem thing. Now this is shorter. It says it's an hour. It ain't, because a half hour of this shit is him dicking around listening to music, which I will have to mute, I think. Honestly, because I don't want to get a fucking copyright strike. Now, if in a world where people understand the importance of fair use, I think that if a presidential candidate uses music in their rallies or something like that, then the RIAA has to whitelist everybody covering that, so you can't get a strike just because it's playing. Because this is a political event, political stuff could happen during that time, and it is an absurd notion that if I was covering one of these things live, like he's at the Chicago Economic Forum with Bloomberg right now, that's what I also have in this nonsense. This guy right here is interviewing him, and it's fucking embarrassing. He was 20 minutes late for it, too. But if they're playing that music, it should be whitelisted temporarily for those events so that you don't have to, get a strike against you if you play it. Because what if something newsworthy happens during one of these things, and they often do, and there's this music playing in the background, and you can't, like, I can't report on it, others can't report on it without getting a copyright strike? Get the fuck out of here, right? And it often does. I mean, part of what's reportable about Trump is his decaying mental state and his dancing during it, and what he's dancing to, and the songs he selects and suggests in these situations, which is a huge part of what goes on at this thing, should be something that I should be able to cover without losing, the ability to make money off my own channel, right? So, fair use to everybody out there. If I catch any, seconds of these stupid songs that he plays and he insists on playing, it's so fucking weird. It's so weird. Oh my God, it's weird. Hit the like, share the show. Let's jump into this, and here we go.
Thank you, bro. This is a nice crowd.
Yes, they love you. You know why? It's because they recognize, sir, that you're the one who fights for them.
Yeah, that's why.
You're the one who protects them.
Yes. From the dogs. By the way, they're eating the dogs guy is now sitting with they're shooting the dogs lady.
You know what else? They fight for themselves, and they've been fighting for a long time. And
yes, a lot of them struggle with reality.
We're going to make your fight easier. It's very important. We're going to make it easier. Because what's happened to our country in the last almost 4 years now, it's hard to believe, but if you look at the borders, if you look at inflation, you look at the...
You mean all the things that obviously shockingly went up because of post-COVID, us being the first country that had a rock vaccine that handled everything, to use his term, a wet vaccine. I think he said a wet vaccine. We had a wet vaccine is what he said. That we were the first country that had that. So as an immigrant, if you were going to go someplace, you'd go where the jobs are and the sickness ain't.
Afghanistan disaster.
By the way, the Afghanistan disaster, for those that don't know, is everybody who stayed in as a president after they said we're getting out. That would be this guy.
Most embarrassing time in the history of our country. I think the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, the way they did, not getting out, I was getting out with dignity, strength. The way they got out was the most embarrassing thing that ever happened. Probably led to Putin going into Ukraine. Probably he looked at it, he said, these people aren't very good, are they?
Yeah, and how'd that work out for him? I don't understand this argument at all. He's lost like 800,000 soldiers and civilian, people he's scooped up, people from prisons, which, I mean, good riddance to bad rubbish, I suppose. But so he was like, this is perfect time to go in. They know nothing about fighting. I will go in, they will help Ukraine and fail miserably. I will take Kiev in 6 days. I'm a brilliant strategist. And then he loses 800,000 soldiers and is bogged down barely holding on to the land he already had. Genius. Yeah, way to take your cues, dumb fuck. By the way, also, same thing with Hamas. Are you nuts? Or in Iran?
They've never done that with me, so...
They wouldn't have had to.
No, we're all in this together. We got to win the election November 5th.
Yes. And, sir, he has never yet called those Gold Star families to express his grief for the people and the soldiers that we lost that day. And who
also, yeah, they did. They reached out to them. That's just silly.
controls that airstrip now?
China.
China.
China. Yes, it's Chinese soldiers have control of that, and they're surrounded on all sides by ISIS-K fighters. And for what? Why? What? I'm dead serious. For what? Poppy? What do they? What good? What good does Bagram do China? Well, I guess it's an hour away from where they make their nuclear weapons. You know, they also have a base exactly where they make their nuclear weapons. Maybe they could just be closer. China.
Yes.
Boo. Oh, wait. Why does that name sound familiar? China. Oh, that's right. That's where his Bibles are made.
No, they have, China took over. And one of the things, get out, we were there like for 20 years. I said, what are we doing here?
Right. Yeah, you ran on it in 2016 and you stayed your entire term.
So we get the hell out.
No, we didn't. Biden did.
But, I had a talk with the Taliban, and
Yeah, you had a talk.
we didn't lose one soldier in 18 months
Yeah, you lost a bunch before that.
until this catastrophe happened when they took over.
Until you agreed to a conditional surrender is what most people would call it.
But, one of the things aside from everything else,
Yeah, aside from everything. I mean, we don't have time, obviously. We don't have time to talk about everything else. We've got songs to listen to.
we spent billions of dollars years ago to build a big air base. And you knew that one from your own time.
Yes, I did.
A big one.
From your own time? What are you talking about? Hold on. When did we build Bagram? In the 80s?
A really good one. Powerful runways, long runways. And you know what happened?
Powerful runways. Turgid runways made out of asphalt and Viagra. The runways there are so powerful, they flick the planes into the air. They don't even have to take off. Some of the most powerful flat lines of concrete and asphalt anywhere. We don't need them.
I'll tell you, they gave it up. And it was 1 hour away from where China built, forget about Afghanistan, 1 hour away from where China builds its nuclear weapons. Would have
Right, so why would you want to get out?
been very nice to have. And China.
It would have been very nice to have. Why? So you could take a mirror, like one of those dental mirrors, and you can put it up on a pole and just keep raising it up until you can peek at their place.
China now occupies that airbase, so it's terrible. It's
Dude, Russia now occupies 2 American bases in Syria because he gave them to them. And those might be actually fucking useful in the conflict with Iran right now. Oh, by the way, one of the bases that Trump gave to the Russians in Syria is being used to transfer arms from Iran to Hezbollah. Not like, say what you will about Bagram and having a bunch of Chinese people in it is something, right? That's as big, like, ew, right? Nobody has strategically shown me, besides the 1 hour away part of where they build the weapons, which, by the way, by the time the weapons launch, it's already too late. I'm just saying. I don't give a fuck where they're built if we're talking about when they're launched. Are we gonna, unless you're talking about we're gonna strike their factory for the 9th round of nuclear weapons they launch? This is so fucking goofy. And we can see the entire thing from space anyways. It's just weird. But the 2 bases that he gave to Russia, one of them is being used to as a transfer point of arms from Iran to Hezbollah right now. Mr. I love Israel, but Kamala hates him.
terrible.
It is. Mr. President, as you can see, we've got a lot of American patriots here tonight who want to ask you some questions.
Good.
If you don't mind, we'll move into that portion of
Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind stealing bread.
the town hall tonight. Let's go to our first question. Our first question is going to be from a man named
A man dressed as a wall.
Reed. And Reed, I'm not certain where you are.
Well, he might be down where the lady with the microphone just handed somebody, but who cares?
Where's Reed? There he is. Hi, Reed.
There he is, over there.
Nice looking guy.
And Reed, I believe you're a Navy SEAL, correct?
No.
No. Okay.
This is going off very well. I'm an Easter SEAL. I sell Flex Seal on the weekends at the mall.
Okay, I got that wrong. All right, thank you very much.
Good evening, Mr. President. My name is Reed.
Hi, Reed.
I'm a single father and Iraq War veteran. I dream of owning a home for me and my son, but mortgage rates under the Biden-Harris administration have made that impossible. What can you do to help?
Okay, look, thank you for your service, but you can get an interest-free loan through the VA. There's tons of veteran home loan programs where it doesn't impact vets at all. Like the fact that Trump doesn't go immediately, oh, you're a vet, you can get an interest-free home loan, through the Veterans Administration. You can even get like a second one for help with the down payment.
Help make home ownership affordable again?
All right, good. It's a great question, and a lot of people have this question. First of all, it's too expensive to build the homes, and they're building them, and they cost a fortune, and 30% of the cost in some locations is the cost of, like, planning and certificates.
Yeah, all that stupid shit that makes sure they don't burn down, fall over, crush you, don't slowly poison your family. All those dumb regulations in home building that the Chinese don't have to worry about. Now, they have lead paint in all their walls, and that kind of points to a greater issue they have there. But, they can scoop up their homeless that are driven mad by the chemicals in their environment and put them in an asylum and then an incinerator. But, which is, coming to a town near you if Trump gets in charge.
And a lot of nonsense they do. They make you go through hell. It takes years to get them. Zoning approvals, all of the approvals you need.
That's all city and local stuff. That's, these are NIMBY laws. Federal government has nothing to do with those.
We're going to get rid of a lot of that, but most...
You can't. You just fucking can't. First of all, the only thing he has control over are national safety standards and that kind of permitting. But I suppose this idea that they're going to build on federal land, there is no federal land close to shit that's worthwhile. There isn't. I mean, I would argue maybe there is some, like in Nevada around Vegas. There's some mountain territory that is officially federal land, right? But they don't need it. There's plenty of other land to build on. That isn't the problem there. And anywhere it is a problem where they need more room to, they need more buildings, what they need is to turn 3-story buildings into 10-story buildings. That's what they need to do. And that's that is city council level shit.
Most importantly, we're going to get interest rates brought way down. We had interest rates at 2%, and now they're 10%, and you can't get the money.
No, by the way, they're not 10% and you can't get the money. They're 10% for him. Let me be abundantly clear. He's talking about him. Big builders like him with shit credit are talking about 10% loans on that's absurd. I think the standard right now for homes is somewhere between 5 and 6%, on average. And then there's all sorts of programs and rebates to lower that.
We had 2%, and there was...
Sorry, I wish I was more accurate in his claims. What am I being inaccurate about? Chat room. Somebody said that. I saw that go by. What am I being inaccurate about? Feel free to bring up whatever it was. Oh, the VA loans are 6.5 to 7. Not with the special. Hold on one second. Let me bring this up. We'll show you. Hold on. Get over here to chat. VA loans. Now, it might be what your level of service was and that kind of stuff. Hold on. I understand. Single family home. Let's see. Let's go to whatever, 350 to 4K, primary residence. Currently renting. No. Let's see, he was probably Army. Separated. Ready to buy. Do you have a timeline in mind? ASAP offer pending. First home assumption. Current credit score. Let's give him a poor credit score. I guess he's employed. He'd have to be, right? Hold on. Okay. VA loan rate. Okay, that's you're right. I'm setting it at a high credit score. I'm giving this guy the worst possible. Let's see, loan amount 500, down payment. Let's even lower it 10%. Compare VA loans. You're right. You're right. 7.4 for him, because I'm giving him the worst possible read. Keyframes, adjustable rate mortgage. I wouldn't give him an adjustable rate. Interest rate, key terms, annual percentage rate. Where's the, okay, VA, let's see, VA home buyers programs. Here we go. VA lender condominium single family. Boink. Yeah, I have to go through the whole thing to show you that. But what happens is it's a standard 7.4, and then you go through the programs and they tick off a percentage point that the government helps you with or raises the amount you put down, is the point I'm making. By the time it ends up, hold on. Yeah. We'll get to that later, because I have to I'm not in the armed forces, so I can't fill out the form for you. Hold on, I'll show you what I mean. Because you have to go to like Veterans United or the militarywallet.com, and they break down. Yeah, low. There you go. Why won't it let me click through on these? So they have a competitive interest rate. Where are we? Here we go. They have a competitive interest rate for vets. So it starts at the 7.4, whatever the banks are loaning, and then you use the programs to chip away by percentage point. And yeah, and then you have, yes, and then there's no down payment in general. Or what happens is there's a 20% down payment if you have it, but you can also, that 20% can be provided by the government as either a secondary no interest loan, as part of the principal, depending on the size of the house. But this guy is talking about, vets don't have to put down a down payment. Yeah, it's a backed loan, right? And you can chip away at these you get special programs that you take advantage of. They are not the same as everybody else. And this dude, again, there's no details about what this guy is talking about as far as him and his son living in a house. Hold on, this one. There's no details about this, so it's hard to work out what his credit score would be, what his branch of service was, whether he's employed right now. Probably the reason why it's so expensive for him is because he's gainfully employed and he's making a lot of money, and the house size he's looking at is relatively large. So it's outside all the special programs for like small, low-cost housing. Right. So anyways, here we go.
There's plenty of money for everybody. And, you know, I call the home part of the American dream. We're going to create the American dream for you.
Really? He calls the home part of the American dream. I don't know where he came up with that. Next, he'll say a chicken in every pot and a car. I call a car 2 cars and 2.3 kids. And he, in all fairness, Trump has 2.3 kids. He's got Ivanka, that's 2, and then 0.3 are the rest of his children.
For young people and for older people, too, by the way. We're not going to forget. I mean, I happen to be a very young man, but we're not going to forget the older people. We're not going to forget the older people. By the way, no tax on Social Security benefits for the older people.
By the way, to do that, you have to cut Social Security benefits. Basically, you know, the money the government's getting back, to make up for that loss, you have to lower how much people are getting. Like, hey, you're not paying tax on it, so we'll just take that part out early. So your benefits will stay the same, if not go down. Yeah.
For those. I guess, you know, somebody said, oh, he's got a conflict of interest because he benefits by that. I'll give mine up if you want. I save tax. But no, we're going to do that for the older people. That's a big deal because you've been eaten alive with inflation. And all I'm doing is getting you back to even. I think when we do that, we're probably just getting...
Yeah, and just to clarify, versus the percentage rate or whatever, the not having a down payment part is the part that I meant, and the percentage part of it, there are ways to cut down that for VA, as a VA benefit. Doesn't mean that's zero. The down payment part is the zero. Just to clarify, in case I misspoke in what I was trying to show earlier, because we're doing this off the cuff. I haven't watched this. I haven't pre-watched this, but I just want to clarify that. No down payment or a back down payment by the VA, and then the percentage can be lowered based on a series of things to where it's competitive, and then you can refinance easier as well. So and again, we know nothing about the details of what this guy did or how long he was in or what he gets or how much money he's making and why that would put him outside the benefit circle of all those kind of things. Just to clarify in that, if I spoke too fast or too outside the circle with that, just clarifying. And then never mind. We'll go back to this part of it, but the no tax on Social Security is a part by Mike Lee and those guys want to destroy Social Security, want to take away those benefits. One of the ways you do that is you remove the tax on it and you go, since you're not paying tax on it, we'll just lower it down to the amount you would, instead of taking those taxes out, we'll just take away that part. So you have the same take-home amount. What's the difference? And then they start ticking it away from there, or they keep it low and then they don't adjust it to the cost of living, those kind of things. That's part of the plan, the Project 2025 plan to eliminate Social Security.
You have fixed income, and you went up numbers like 30, 40, 50, depending on what they include. They like to say it was a 20% increase. It wasn't. It was 30, 40, and 50, depending on what they want to include. So we're going to do that. But
yes, 30, 40, and 50% increase, not to 30, 40, 50% of your income if you're a billionaire.
Getting back to you, we're going to drill, baby drill. We're going to have so much energy.
Also, how do you do that? We're drilling more than we ever have. What the fuck does drill, baby drill mean? There's only two ways you can force companies to produce a product that at a lower price and a higher volume. You can give them subsidies or you can threaten them. That's it. He doesn't say how. I don't know what the hell that is. I guess the idea is they're going to unleash drilling, but there are 9,000 some odd unused leases.
And we're going to bring prices down because, your prices are up. Don't forget, the damage is done. We have the worst president and the worst vice president in the history of our country by far. And let me...
Well, then, honest to God, where's the crash? I was promised a crash. If you recall, I was promised a crash. I was promised that as soon as Joe Biden took over, 1929 decimation. Right? Weren't you promised that as soon as Biden took over, the stock market was going to crash, we would have 20% unemployment? Do you remember? I was promised a crash. Where's the crash?
I tell you, she is worse than him. And he's actually, I didn't think I'd ever say this about anybody. She's actually, you take a look at it, she's more dangerous than him, but he's actually smarter than her. I never thought I'd say that.
He says that about every pairing of man and woman. In his estimation, the man is always smarter than the woman.
I never thought I'd say that, but look, we're going to get it down. We're going to drill. We're going to get the energy down. When the energy comes down, prices are going to come down. All of that prices, because, when they say, although they had very bad inflation numbers last month, you saw that. Very, very bad inflation.
No, they didn't. Okay. The reason he thinks there were bad inflation numbers is because the Fed wants to lower the inflation rate before they cut. And so everybody's looking forward to another half-point cut by December, and they're planning for this. And inflation went down further than they thought. And so it might mean that the half-point cut will be unnecessary. That was the bad part for a lot of people. Like, we're not going to get that half-point cut in the interest rate because inflation went down anyways. They're going to do it anyways. It's just stupid. They're behind. in lowering the interest rate. They know this. So like, he's talking out of his ass.
Numbers, despite the big, they did this big drop, probably too big a drop. I'm not going to get into that.
Because he doesn't understand it. By the way, like I said, hold on. Let me show you this part again. Wait a second. Hi, chat room. 1 second. Pop in here. Okay, sorry. Fed interest rate raised 0.75. Let's see if they... let's see. Fed rate cut. I want a chart of the Fed rate. Hold on. Hold on. Chart of Fed interest rate. Yeah, here you go. So this is the effective rate. There you go. This is the Fed rate, kids. This is where it was, like, from basically you had this climb right here, which had a lot to do with like cost of oil spiking and raising the cost of everyday goods, and so they were trying to counterbalance it. And then 2007, it just drops like crazy. And then ever since the 2008 crash, it basically flatlined. When it got to, let's see, where are we? 2016, the rate was 0.36. And then they started to bring it up to where it was 2%. Trump was the highest point during his presidency was 2.39. That was the Fed rate, okay? And then, no surprise, February of 2020, it fell off a cliff again. And it was 0.09 from September 2020 to, where is it? Yeah, March of 2022. And then it started to go up precipitously, and it went up to 5.3. This is the Fed rate. So everything's on top of it, right? So it's not, they loan money out at that rate, and then the banks add a surcharge on top of that. So when you have nothing, the banks make a 2% fee on top of that or whatever, right? So this is, and now it's started to come down. I'll try and do this. This only goes to, where is it? Yeah, so it went down a half a basis point from here to here. Like, where am I doing? It's so small. So anyways, I'd like to remind you that in, here you go, 2006, it was 5.2 for a good long while. And it had gone down during Bush, right at the transition point, to 1 percentage point. And this had a lot to do with like Iraq and the cost of that and all that shit. But look at the rest of this time. Look at this. Look at this shit. Like, this was the lowest dip you can see in the 90s was 3. But look at this. 9% in 89, about that, right? Which you could argue contributed partially to Japan's issues because they were heavily leveraged in U.S. funds. 1984, 1164, like, just like if you got a 30-year loan back then, what the fuck were you paying, right? Now, granted, there was fewer people and there's less building, and there's also a lot less real estate speculation back then, which had a lot to do with this. But here you go, from 95 to 2000, effectively. Here's November 2000, there's 6. It's going down at this point. And then right at November 2001, it's at 2%. And then 9/11 had a lot to do with, sort of the post-recovery freak-out impact on the economy. And then, boop, right back up to here. Like, look at the precipitous climb there at that point versus this drop-off, this cliff, this unnatural hole, essentially. But if you had a situation where this had just continued to climb normally, it had been about right here. Without COVID, this is where your number is. right? About here. That's what it would have been. Just to, and again, compared to the rest of time, it's absurd. Like, we're nowhere near the highest interest rates we've ever had, nowhere near the highest inflation we've ever had. Yeah, right now, inflation is effectively tracking with the cost of the dollar. It was, so anyways, let me go back to here. Here it is.
But we're going to get the prices down because the damage.
Also, no, you're not. Because once you start reshoring stuff, the price goes up. If you're going to make shit here, it's going to cost a lot more because people are going to make a living wage making it. And if you want to outsource it to another country so you can sell that item cheaper, he's going to apparently put a tariff that will make it impossibly high. So the cost of everything is going to go up. Everything.
Damage has been done. If we had no inflation now, such damage has been done. The highest, in my opinion, the biggest inflation in the history of our country.
Yeah, inflation is an opinion, motherfucker. It's an actual number.
They didn't include a lot of the bad numbers. I'll give you an example. On housing and on different things, like crime statistics are fake. They were fake statistics.
Also, again, his opinion, no, they're not.
They didn't include some cities that were really bad.
Yes, they did. No surprise. Bigger cities have bigger crime statistics, and they come to these crime statistics by interviewing victims, not by who is charged, but who is victimized. You don't even have to find the motherfucker or charge somebody, or you'd never understand what crime is. A good example is a serial killer they can't catch. If you only counted crime statistics by arrests and convictions, you would never chart a serial killer until such time as they were caught, obviously, if you caught them at all. All their victims over the course of the time they victimized people would not count as crime statistics. All the people that were murdered wouldn't line up as murders unless you convicted somebody. So they do victim impact statements, especially if it's again, serial crime, assault, sexual assault, those kind of things. It's victim impact statements that help them determine those numbers, not just arrests and convictions. Again, because that's a smaller number of a smaller number. So to let you know how much crime is happening, they have to interview these people. In a bigger city, obviously it's harder to interview and takes more time and more attention to detail in a highly populated area than in some rural area where, like, that sheep told me we were in love and it used me and left me, and not before I signed over power of attorney to it.
The crime looked like it was just bad as opposed to being horrific. Jobs, 818,000 fake jobs they added. And they padded the job numbers a couple of months ago so that they'd look better on jobs.
No, they didn't. They took the Bureau of Labor Statistics did its annual review and cut the jobs that they didn't actually find stuck around. They thought were permanent jobs that were either temp jobs or seasonal that didn't actually stay, or whatever they overcounted by 818,000. If they had, Jesus Christ, if they had been honest about it, the Bureau of Labor Statistics had not included those 818,000 jobs, the Fed would have started lowering interest rates earlier. It would have benefited the Biden administration. It would have been more helpful to the economic situation in the United States if the Fed didn't believe there were almost 1 million more jobs than there were. Because they kept talking. Remember how everybody kept talking about how overheated the economy was? What they meant was hiring. And the Fed is always at odds with with employment. They're trying to keep unemployment at a manageable level, right? They want it a little bit higher than the public, let's say, would. Whatever the normal transition group, there's 4% of people don't have jobs and want a job all the time, and kind of a turnover rate about that. That maybe the perfect number is like 3.2. Okay, right? That's the thing. Maybe that, I'm making up this number, but let's say it's the magic number is 3.2. It's not the bottom, but it's also not a number you can get below healthily without forced employment or some shit like that. They know this. And so the Fed is always trying to find that sweet spot between people who are just fucking around and looking for a higher paying job that doesn't exist or something like that. So they're back and forth in that. They don't know what that is. It's a magic number nobody knows. And it could be flexible based on the volume of people in the country. They never actually determine what that is. But I do know for sure that the Fed believed for the last 2 years especially, and it's why they kept the interest rates high and why they kept raising them early on, was because they thought there were more jobs being made than there were. Not by a little bit. Not by a lot, but by a little bit. And that little bit would have been about that 818,000 that they talk about over the course of a year.
818, they were fake. They were fraudulent jobs. And
also, they're not fraudulent. They're just jobs that didn't stick, or they expanded and then they didn't expand, but they didn't turn into they were like hourly that were supposed to be salaried jobs, and they didn't end up turning into salaried jobs. It's all bullshit.
They thought they'd announce the real numbers after the election.
No, they didn't. The Bureau of Labor Statistics does this all the time. It wasn't a whistleblower. It wasn't silly.
But we had a whistleblower or somebody that let it out, so they cheated us on 18. Think of that, 818,000 jobs they cheated. You know, usually when you have those numbers, it's 9,000 jobs off it. This is almost 1 million jobs off. It's not even possible.
Yeah, it is, because post-COVID, like there was a huge rush back to work, businesses being formed, some of them started and collapsed, because fucking COVID.
So we're going to bring things, and Reed, you're going to buy that house and you're going to pay 2.5%, 3% interest, and you're going to say, I love this guy. Because interest rates, Reed, will follow as the energy goes down. And I made another commitment. I made it.
Oh my God. No, they won't.
Over the last month, I've been making it. We have more liquid gold under our feet than Saudi Arabia, than Russia, than any other country. I'm going to bring down your energy costs 50% in the first year.
Also, where he gets this from. So the reason he says 50% in the first year is because there's going to be an oil glut next year, and he's been told this, so he knows it. So it's magically going to come down 30% anyways, and he thinks this drill baby drill thing is going to lower it even more.
50%. And I better do it, because I'm all over the place saying I'm going to have problems if I don't get it done. But we have all the capacity to do it. Nobody else can make that.
By the way, he says those kind of things. I'm going to be in trouble if I've been saying it everywhere. It's because somebody told him to say it. Probably Don Jr. and Eric, because they know they've been reading the oil glut stories, and so they're literally just feeding him this line. He's like, "That better be true, or I'm in deep shit." You're already in deep shit.
That statement. We have so much energy, we don't even use it. We get energy from Venezuela.
No, we don't.
They don't have good oil. You know, they have tar. They have tar that you have to liquefy, and you know where they do it? In Houston, Texas, because that's where we have the plant. It's the
So I'm sorry, you want to put that one plant in Texas out of business?
only plant in the world that can do it.
Right. So basically you're saying that plant shouldn't exist? Fuck Texas? I don't understand the reasoning in this, because just because it's, if we have the only plant in the world that can turn that stuff into useful fuel, what? Why wouldn't we use it? That's so confusing. Boo, Texas, or whatever.
We do it in Houston. So for the environmentalists out there, this is not a pretty picture, what flows into the air, right?
So what are you going to do? Shut down the Texas plant?
But we're going to use our beautiful liquid gold. And when we get everything else down, houses, everything's going to come. It's going to be beautiful. You're going to have a house. Just wait a little while. Give me a little while. Let me get in. 1 year from January 20th, we will have your energy prices cut in half all over the country.
Thank you.
Also, again, how do you think oil companies are going to react to being forced to produce more oil so they can make half what they're making?
And Mr. President, in reference to Reed and his family, he's not in a unique situation. 65% of Americans today cannot buy a home. That has dramatically changed under the Biden-Harris administration.
That's because there was a huge house buying rush during and right after COVID. Like in 2021, holy shit. Like house buyers couldn't, like there was nothing on the market, and like home builders were building at the fastest clip they've done in like 20 fucking years, because everybody's moving their office home. They're not available. There's nothing there. That's why the price of the house and the interest rates in parallel are high, because there's just no houses. And notice, like, his whole thing is like he's going to cut funding, like a 15% if you make something in the United States, which uniquely helps real estate developers, which is why he likes it. Everybody else is going to have to reshort their factory and it'll take them time. But right out of the gate, real estate developers are going to pay a 15% flat tax on basically everything.
And Kamala Harris has...
In theory, I don't even know. We haven't seen the fucking paperwork on any of this shit. It's just a number he gives out. But you do know for sure that his kind of businesses will benefit from his tax policy, and everybody else, it'll take them 10 years to get there.
Embrace the policies that made home ownership disappear and take away that opportunity from Reid and his family and 65% of Americans today. Listen, the American dream is still to own your own home. And now that is not possible because of what they've embraced. And you talk about liquid gold. If any state understands liquid gold and American energy, it's Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Well, no, this would be, I suppose, it wouldn't be liquid gold. It would be gas, I think, largely. This is it's a big fracking state. So I'm just letting you know, it's not a lot of Pennsylvania oil. For the record, just saying.
The Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth.
Make sure, you know.
The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
By the way, this is a really great governor, very successful governor. She read some of the numbers. I thought
she governs this. Wait. God damn it. Hang out. Where is it? Here we go. Where is it? Let's see. What's the South Dakota? Yeah, she's got less than 1 million people in her whole fucking state.
Because why not?
900,000 people in South Dakota. Just over a little, like, she's a very successful governor of a state that has fewer people in it than Toledo, Ohio.
Nobody else will do it, but I will.
I did it
because
fast.
I do it for my friends. So you did it beautifully
Fast.
too. She has done a fantastic job as governor, and I will say this: I went to school here. I just want to forewarn her, because I've seen it happen and it's career threatening. Don't ever call it a state; it's a commonwealth. And I was saying,
lesson learned.
Has somebody, because a lot of innocent lambs have come up and they start talking to the people of Pennsylvania. I love you people. I know you so well. I'm here all the time.
He still doesn't know the difference between a commonwealth and a state, and they keep reminding me of it, reminding him of that phrase, and he keeps saying it over and over again to remind himself. With the same energy, he says it's pronounced Nevada. By the way, it's Nevada, which is a state.
Yeah, I went to school here. I went to the Wharton School, the great Wharton School of Finance.
Yeah, you mean the school that says your economic policies are going to cost the American taxpayer and the debt like $5.6 trillion more than Kamala Harris's? Yes, Kentucky is also a commonwealth. Well spotted.
And they were great. It's a great place. But I went to college here, so never ever even think. I watched one man crash and burn. He kept calling it the state. I kept saying it's a commonwealth. But
no, he didn't.
Time of the evening, I think his political career ended there.
So,
no. Let people lightly correct you. It's the same thing with, like, Kentucky. Good Lord.
Go ahead.
Tonight we have some special guests in the
He's just in a panic because he's afraid he'll say something wrong.
audience. We have a Gold Star family that is with us tonight. Mary and Charles Strange are here. Where are they?
Where are they?
Oh, here they are, sir. They're behind us over here to the left.
Come on up here. Come on.
They lost their son, Michael.
Come on up.
Come on up here.
It seems like he's just using vets as props for this whole thing. Look at the Secret Service. They're like, come on, man.
It's a little harder to get up since I got shot. They've made it more difficult. Perhaps that's the way it's supposed to be.
Sir, they lost their son, Michael.
Right. See what he said? They make it a little harder to get up. And what he means is up on stage since I got shot. It's a little harder to get to me since he got shot. That's what he's talking about.
President Trump, great to see you again, baby. Under Obama, all 30 guys died.
Did you want to say anything?
That guy said, under Obama, all 30 guys died.
Obama is right. Under Obama.
Jesus Christ. You mean the war that Bush started that you didn't end?
Please, on behalf of your son.
I would ask, Mr. President, my son was killed August 6, 2011 with 29 other men. It was the biggest loss of life in the Iraq and Afghan war. It was the biggest loss of life in a single day in the history of America. 22 of them men were Navy Special Warfare. Till to this day, we still haven't gotten any answers. I was wondering, I'm begging you, we would like a congressional hearing.
So here's what we're going to do.
The same thing he did during his first term. Fucking nothing. Do you think this information wasn't available? Right? You think, I mean, again, this happened before Trump was president, during Obama's presidency, but as part of a greater issue we had with an ongoing war that fucking Bush started. Do you think there was an opportunity maybe to be informed about this while Trump was president and do something about it?
In the first week, let me have it, not the first day, because I made a lot of promises in the first day. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to close up the border. We're going to do a lot in the first day. In the first week, we will set up a commission. We're going to find out, because so many people in your same position, they want to know what happened. Why did it happen to their son or daughter? And we're going to do that.
Here's a good idea. Call your fucking congressman. Have Trump call whatever Republican congressman oversees their, I don't know, whatever their district is, and start it now. What are you talking about? I'm going to guess that they actually already covered it, or it was secret, and that's why they don't talk about it.
That within the first week. So you get ready to come over to the White House.
What the fuck are you waiting for? Don't you have, you control the House right now. You got him, hey, asshole, you got him to stop the border bill. You can't get him to start a fucking panel on this? What do you think, Comer's fucking busy with an impeachment right now and can't get around to it?
Okay?
Thank you, Mr. President.
And by the way, he said, nice to see you again. He's met with these people multiple times. But I have no doubt probably during his presidency, but certainly after. But again, when he was in contact with people in the House and Senate, fucking do it, dummy. What are you waiting for?
I gotta say one more thing.
Oh, dear.
I want to let America know, June 2017, President Trump and his wife had me and my wife bring 20
What'd I say?
gold stars to the White House.
And you asked them the same fucking question, and nothing happened.
Him and his wife stayed the whole time. They had food, drinks. They did a candle ceremony for us. President Trump stood up every time, saluted the Gold Star parents.
Yeah. And did you want a congressional hearing at that time? Yes. Did you ask for one? Yeah. Did he get you one? No. The fuck, dude? You're not meeting him for the first time. Jesus Christ. You'd be better off going to Harris and going, hey, can we get to the bottom of this?
That was...
Oh my God. That was some of the best food, and we sat around and we talked, and then I was like, okay, what's next?
Both a celebration, a remembrance. It had all emotion, right? They were happy, they were sad, they were devastated, but...
Jesus Christ. They were happy, they were sad, they were devastated, they were elated. We were giggling and crying and vomiting and singing.
They remembered their beautiful boy, right?
Yes.
Their beautiful boy, and we're not going to forget. We're going to find out what happened. We're going to do that within the first week. And
motherfucker, you met him in 2017. That means it's in your first fucking couple of months in office. Jesus Christ.
You have my word. Okay?
Thank you, President Trump.
Yeah, by the way, I'm sure he gave him his word just like this in 2017 at that meeting. I'm fucking certain of it.
Good man. Good man. Oh, I agree. I got the proof. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr.
What a
President.
nice couple.
Fuck, it's so sad what they've gone through and all that stuff. And the fact that they would be suckered by this dickhead is fucking lame. Oi. Because, like I said, I guarantee he said the exact same thing to them in 2017.
Mary and Charles' daughter Rachel is also here tonight. She is Michael's sister, so thank you, Rachel, for coming tonight too, and God bless you and your family. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice.
Thank you, Dawn.
Yes.
Thank you, honey. That's tough stuff.
It is. Thank you for your commitment to...
And like what we were discussing in Afghanistan with the 13 family members, they feel that bad things happened, stupid things happened, and you hate for that to be, and it's your son or your daughter.
They
There's
deserve
no reason.
answers.
Yeah, well said. I mean, you can just feel the emotion in what he's saying. Bad things happen, stupid things happen, and you hate to think it's your son or your daughter.
It should have never happened in Afghanistan, I can tell you that, the 13 that died. And, you know, they don't mention there were many people wounded, too, and I mean, seriously.
Yeah, the lines, the hands, the feet, the face.
Wounded with the legs and the arms and the face.
Jesus.
And we're going to give them everything they want.
What are you doing? Give them their legs and their arms and their face back? What are you talking about? It's so lame. Like, he brings it up like it's fucking a dunk.
I've gotten to know those families. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Couldn't name a single one. Gun to his head, no doubt. Couldn't name a single one. By the way, I'm not recommending the gun to his head. I'm using it as an analogy. I don't believe in political violence. Let's just be clear.
Sir, our next question tonight is from Angelina, who I believe is right here. If you want to come forward, Angelina.
Hi, Angelina.
Hi. Good evening, Mr. President.
Let me stand up for you. Go ahead.
My name's Angelina, and I was raised in a Philadelphia Democrat household, a union household. As a mother of a blended family, my top issues are the same issues that face all Americans. Illegal immigration hurts Black Americans. Inflation hurts Black Americans. And dangerous cities hurt Black Americans.
By the way, this is the talking point that he uses about why he's going to be a protector of women. You might die of septicemia in a hospital parking lot from an ectopic pregnancy gone wrong, but it's really what you should be afraid of is migrants crawling through your window.
Like my fellow Americans, my grocery bill has not gone down. Everything is still so very expensive. What steps will your administration take to
So you're still buying organic?
help American families suffering from this inflation?
So, you know, it's such a great question in the sense that people don't think of grocery. You know, it sounds like not such an important word when you talk about homes and everything else, right?
Yes, you're right. It doesn't, homes and groceries. Groceries doesn't sound like an important word. You're right.
But more people tell me about grocery bills.
Because he's never shopped for groceries in his life.
Where the price of bacon, the price of lettuce, the price of tomatoes, they tell me.
Yes, apparently he wants a BLT. This is how he orders his lunch from his people. Yeah, bacon, lettuce, tomato, the price of 2 slices of bread, the slices of maybe mayonnaise or maybe not.
Tell me and we're going to do a lot of things. You know, our
Fucking bacon, lettuce, and tomato. I'm going to lower the price of a BLT.
farmers aren't being treated properly, and we have
to pay our farmers more, which will not, that money will just come out of nowhere. Don't worry about it. It won't come out of grocery bills, whatever grocery
to
means.
deal with China, and it was a great deal. I never mentioned it because once COVID came in, I said that was a bridge too far because I had a great relationship with
Yes, allegedly releasing a bioweapon into the United States was a bridge too far. That was too much for me.
President Xi. And he's a fierce man, and he's a man that likes China, and I understand that. But we had a deal, and he was perfect on that deal.
No, he wasn't.
$50 billion.
No, they didn't buy $50 billion. They didn't even buy 10. The first phase was for 30 over 3 years. They didn't even meet that level.
He was going to.
And they desperately need the food. That's the irony.
We were doing numbers like you wouldn't believe for the farmer. But the farmers are very badly hurt. The farmers in this country, we're going to get them straightened out. We're going to get your prices down. But you asked another question.
How? Wait a minute. How do you help the farmers who are hurting financially and lower prices at the same time? Do you think production, what are you going to do? Grow, baby, grow, you dumb motherfucker?
About safety and also...
We're going to grow, baby, grow. We're going to pig, baby, pig. And we're going to tomato, baby, tomato. I don't like baby tomatoes. I like the big beefsteak ones. Bounce like a tennis ball, taste like toilet paper.
About black population jobs and Hispanic population, in particular those two. So when millions of people pour into our country, they're having a devastating effect on black families and Hispanic families more than any others. I think it's going to spread to a lot of other places. I think it's going to...
No, they don't. By the numbers, by the way, if immigrants take jobs, it's jobs that largely lower class white people, and impoverished white people have because there's just more of them. But again, like black people are 13% of the population. That means the adult black people are what, 7%? That means half of that are, are women. More than half are women. So look, we're talking about 3% of the overall population. And if he's talking about 20 million fucking people coming in, those jobs are gone, period, I guess. A bunch of nonsense.
Spread to unions. I think unions are going to have a big problem because...
Yeah, eventually, sure. Yeah, except not because apparently union jobs can be taken by people from insane asylums that don't speak a language anyone recognizes.
Employers are just not going to pay the price. They're going to... And it's a very bad thing that's happening. So
employers aren't going to pay the price of what? By the way, this is his anti-union talk, by the way. This is why he's against the PRO Act. He thinks that unions drive up the cost of jobs, and therefore that's why people hire, immigrants to do these jobs, because these damn union people want to be paid a living wage.
They're coming in, many are coming in from jails and prisons and mental institutions.
And all of them can do whatever you do for a living, black lady. What the fuck? Can you imagine... Ma'am, you are standing on stage with a man who believes that your job, whatever the fuck you do, can be taken by a person from an insane asylum. Whatever you do for a living, he thinks you can be easily replaced by a lunatic that doesn't speak English. That's what level of work he thinks you do.
Insane asylums, that's like, a step above, right? Insane asylum.
Yeah, it's a step above. It totally is. It's the upper crust of mental institution.
And whenever I go, Hannibal Lecter, you know what I'm talking about. They always go to the fake news. That's a lot of fake news back there, too.
Look at the cane coming out. It definitely got the youth vote. It's a walking stick.
They always mention, it's a way of demeaning. They just say, Hannibal Lecter, why would he mention? Well, you know why? Because he was a sick puppy, and we have sick puppies coming into our country. I figure that's that's better than wasting a lot of words. You just say Hannibal Lecter, we don't want him, but they always sort of...
Yeah, because that's the big problem with all these... Because cannibals are storming across the fucking border. Cannibals. By the way... highly cultured cannibals with psychology degrees. Maybe that's why. What are you in, psychology? Hannibal Lecter could probably take your job for years before, Special Agent Graham figures out who he is and gets, stabbed and then stabs him with arrows and then shoots him 3 times, and he ends up in a... It's a long story. Watch the movie.
Why would he say that?
Because he's stupid. You say that because you're a fucking moron. You've only watched 2 movies in your whole fucking life and like 3 episodes of fucking Hunter in the 80s.
I do it for a lot of reasons, but I do it because we are allowing some very bad people into our country.
Yeah, by and large, not cannibals with a degree in psychology that can, I guess, throw dinners for the local symphony on the regular.
They're coming as terrorists. You know, you saw the other day, last month, they had the record number of terrorists. I had a month, and I love Border Patrol.
Caught. And it wasn't last month. It's always last month, no matter what month he's fucking talking about.
Did you see they gave me a full endorsement 2 days ago? Border Patrol.
Yes, it is wonderful. Sorry, get back to that part where I'm so fucking stupid and whatever I do for a living, a lunatic who doesn't speak English could take my job. Say that part again. It's very exciting. Because I suppose I'm a black lady and therefore that's all we can do.
The Border Patrol, and they're great. And you know, they want to do their job. They don't want to let these people come in. They look at them, they can tell, they can look at somebody, say good, bad.
Yeah? Can they? They can just look at them and tell good, bad. What do you think what's the criteria? I think they have like one of those color sticks from Home Depot. Is that what you think? Uh-oh. This guy's venturing from cream in my coffee from cappuccino to mocha. Get him, Stan. They could just look at him and tell. Uh-oh. We got Congo, Billy. Congo. We can just look at him and tell.
They say what's coming.
This is fucking gross. This is so gross. And this poor woman just standing there. This is embarrassing.
Into our country now, it's having a huge negative impact on black families and on Hispanic families and ultimately on everybody. And we're going to close that border so tight, it's going to be closed. And
no goods, no trucks, no imports, no, I guess exports. So, I mean, how do you get those out? Is it closed? It's closed one way, I guess, of course.
And I said the 2 things I'm going to do. First, we're going to close that border, and people are going to come in. You want people to come in. We need people to come in. People are going to come into our country legally. You know, it's so unfair.
On a special visa so they could work at Mar-a-Lago.
You have people that are waiting on a system, on a line, and they've been waiting on this line, you know how long? For years, 10 years, 12 years, and they study and they take tests, and then people come. I actually say, why don't you just come on across? I tell people that it's terrible, right?
Yes, don't tell them that. That's illegal. Wait a minute. So hold on. Trump just admitted that he tells people that if they're trying to get in the country legally, skip it. Just come in illegally. This is, I don't, does that technically violate the Logan Act? I don't know. Are you negotiating with foreign nationals to break the law? What?
I said, go out. You're incredible. They say, what can I do to speed up the process? I say, you know what? Go to the southern border. I'll see you on the other side. It's so unfair. But we're going to...
What? What the fuck? What? Have you guys seen this moment in people's coverage of this? I mean, I know he's doing all this shit where he's dancing and acting like a dipshit, but what the fuck is that? People are trying to immigrate legally into the United States, are apparently asking him where are these people? At his golf courses, I guess, trying to speed up their citizenship. And he's like, just come across the southern border. Where the fuck are you when this conversation happens? Are you outside the country? What is this a conversation you had at like Little St. James Island? What?
Have them come in legally. You have to see what they have to do. They take tests on, you know, who was the first one here, what date was this, what...
Yeah, that's the test. Who was the first one here? What was the date of this thing? You probably don't know this, black lady, because you're the kind of person that a crazy person could take your job. But I know more about who was the first one here than the first one here.
Does 1776 mean? All the stuff. And these other people are coming in, and they're affecting the school systems, and they're affecting the hospital system. I mean, if you take a look at what's going on in Springfield, Ohio.
Yes, everyone there is getting an education and bleeding from an arterial wound at the same time. They're getting stitched up while taking algebra, and nobody can get a seat anywhere. Fucking Springfield, Ohio. You mean where the legal Haitian immigrants are working and helping to do infrastructure jobs around that place, which are relatively temporary? Good Lord.
A town of 50,000 people. They've just added 32,000 people, illegal immigrants, and we're not going to
Congratulations. Da, 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 da. Does she have walk-off music?
put up with it, and we're going to take care of your costs are going to come down, and you're not going to have a problem with because the biggest problem.
Almost not what? Brown people?
And I'm hearing it from black people.
Both of them.
And to a lesser extent right now, but it'll be the same, Hispanic people. And I'll tell you what, our poll number.
To a lesser extent? What kind of polling is he? Are black people up in his face about it, or does he just by numbers not understand per capita and the people that he's interacting with, or the people that he's talking to that have a Hispanic last name are people like Ted Cruz, and therefore he doesn't even kind of factor that in, or Marco Rubio, right? The people who are like just pulling up the ladder after themselves.
Numbers have gone through the roof with black and
Jesus, it makes me it makes me wince every time he says black to a black person. It's just weird.
And Hispanic have gone through the roof. And I like that. I like that. I like that.
Guy with cane. It's like Gonzo the Great has showed up. The Great Gonzo.
So we're going to take care of it. You will be
so happy and so black.
I'll tell you, if everything works out, if everybody gets out and votes on January 5th, or
yeah. Sorry, when are they supposed to when are they supposed to vote? Hold on. Back the fuck up.
I'll tell you, if everything works out, if everybody gets out and votes on January 5th or before, you know.
Yeah. Way before. He's so used to his people telling black people to vote the wrong time and date, he can't stop himself. They just... He said, like, somebody, like in the family, whatever you're talking to a black person, tell them the wrong date. Because if they vote, they're probably going to vote Democrat no matter what they tell you. So just tell them the wrong day. January 5th. Son of a bitch. If they vote January 5th, that barely gives them time to riot the next day.
It used to be you'd have a date. Today,
yeah, that date would not be January 5th ever.
you can vote 2 months before, probably 3 months after. They don't know what the hell they're doing. But we're going to...
People are yelling November.
Straighten it all out. We're going to straighten that out, too. We're going to straighten our election process out, too.
Yeah, we're going to move the date to January 5th. So by the next day, they have to certify within an hour of the polls closing. We're going to count everything by hand without using computers in 20 minutes in a country of 320 million people. And well, I agree. My chat is very funny, Carol. Yeah.
That's going to be important also. So thank you very much, darling. We're going to get it straight. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelina.
By the way, didn't answer a question at all. Just don't worry, I'm going to shut the border. What the fuck does that mean? It means the same thing as drill, baby, drill. It means nothing, by the way. But don't forget to vote on January 5th.
Mr. President, we had in the last year over 800,000 Americans lose their jobs in this country. But 1.2 non-citizens took those jobs. They're filling the jobs that Americans could have.
Oh my God, I had no idea they were so industrious. 1.2, so a single immigrant can do the job of 800,000 Americans? Of course, obviously not alone. He's got Quatu attached to his belly. Quaid.
Have to provide for their families. And Kamala Harris has been in charge of this border. She is the one who...
No, she's not. She's in charge of trying to stem immigration from the from South American countries before it becomes a problem at the border. So we don't deal with it like it's an emergency. We deal with it long-term, specifically, actually a measured, smart approach as opposed to waiting until it's a crisis and then going, fuck them.
Who has been the border czar who has facilitated this invasion. I've always called it an invasion.
Right. As in South Dakota, you guys deal with it all the time.
In a war zone down there because we see the criminals and the terrorists coming across.
It is an invasion like
no, it's not.
We've never seen before. And
yeah. Yes, because no one's ever had an invasion made up of largely families and guys looking to do roofing in July in 103-degree heat.
If it was an invasion...
They're invading There's never been an invasion. You're right. We've never seen an invasion where people want to pick strawberries in another country for sale to the people of that country. That is what a weird invasion. That is the weirdest invasion. You're right. He's right. When you're right, you're right. And they're invading our country. We've never seen an invasion like this.
Invasion of people that deserve to come in or that will love the country will be great.
An invasion of people who love the country. Well, that's kind of what you have. You have people trying to get in the country because they want to live here.
To go around saying they don't commit crime. Have you seen the gang from Venezuela, what they've done in
You mean the 6 guys at that one door? That video you play over and over and over and over and over again? You do realize every time you see the same person on a piece of video, it doesn't magically become another person, right?
Aurora, Colorado?
But it's only a few, according to Martha Raddatz. According to Martha, it's just a few apartment buildings.
And by the way, it's hundreds all over the country, and they're like me. They're in the real estate business, but they take it over with rifles. They take it over with a level of sophistication, because you know a lot about guns.
And dogs.
From where you come and you like it. And
from where you come and you like it.
I'm a big protector of the Second Amendment. We've gotten totally endorsed.
We've gotten totally endorsed by the number 2. Some people say they can smell it on me. They can smell 2 on me.
And if you think that's easy, it's not easy. But the NRA gave me total endorsement.
What are you talking about? It's not easy? Republicans automatically get it. They have to do something wrong to lose it.
I assume you got total endorsement. We have no choice. We have to have it.
Yeah, ASPCA, not so much.
But, especially when you have, it's amazing. These radical left lunatics, they want everybody to come into our country. Many of those people are criminals, and then they want to also take your guns away simultaneously. So they don't want your guns, but they want them to come in. So you need it for protection. If somebody knows...
Also, I don't think anybody wants them to have guns either, would be the thing.
That you have a gun in your house, they say, let's go after somebody else.
Or they see that you have a gun in the house and they wait till you go to work and steal it. That happens a lot.
People put signs under this gun, or we have, some of them actually spell the kind of a gun they have. We have an AK-47 inside. And people say, you know what, let's just... And I knew about an AK-47 from a
Don't you mean an MK-47?
few weeks ago. And the AR-15, I know about that one too. I know a lot. But
not as much as the Parkland kids, but
you know what? You have a lot of bad people out there, and you
don't want them to have guns. You're almost there. You're almost there, dum-dum.
It just can't be a one-way street. You know one thing,
can't be a one-way street. Well, I see. If they have guns, so it can't just be that they have guns. You have to have guns too. Right, that's what he means. You should be able to shoot back, at, I guess, a dark outline in your doorway, even if it's just your teenage kid coming home late.
Because she wants to take your guns away. If you take them away, the bad guys are not giving them up. That's the...
Yeah, there's a little phrase they've used forever. If guns are criminal, only criminals will have guns. They've been saying that forever, stupid. Way to take that easily digestible and regurgitated phrase and and shitting out something wholly undecipherable.
The only thing, I don't think the good people are giving them up either. You want to know the truth? But the bad guys are not giving up their guns. That's the only thing I know for certain, right?
It's true. You're true.
Well, you don't expect them to. You just have to arrest the people who are giving them the guns or selling them the guns. But that's what you guys keep stopping.
Your J.D. Vance did a fantastic job on Sunday morning,
Is he
calling
doing
out
a
the
good
fake
job?
news. Yes.
No.
For how they're trying to diminish the devastation that's going on in some of these communities. And Kamala Harris has facilitated losing 300,000 children as well since she's been in charge of the border.
Oh, by the way, Title 42, when they track children that came across or whatever, when they eject the entire family, when people are processed and the Child Protective Services does not track children after they become 18. They don't mark them off as, they have moved on to a better place. They just don't track them anymore. And if they send an entire family back to Mexico to process themselves and try to get back into the country, if they're automatically expelled, they don't track those either. That's what that number is. That's from Title 42. Title 42 was implemented under Trump, and it didn't have a system in place for adjudicating who should be here and who shouldn't, and that was the entire point. That's what differs it from Title 8. Title 8 gets people expelled permanently and goes on their record if they sneak across the border. Title 42, you can come across as much as you want. And they don't even know if it's the same kid over and over again because they don't track them under Title 42. They just automatically expel people. That's what Remain in Mexico was.
I always say that they're not missing children, that they are trafficked and kidnapped and murdered children because they've come across that border and we have no idea where those children are.
Sorry, what appetite for children do you think there is in the United States of America, you fucking creep?
And we know how devastating it is, what's happening to their lives right now with what she's facilitating.
What lives? Whose lives? You mean the children that you would just kick straight out and leave in Mexico, which is exactly what you did, which is why they're not on the rolls anymore?
I think that, all bad numbers, we have a lot of bad numbers.
Yeah, just bad numbers. It's just the numbers that are bad.
So much bad happened in this administration. It's disgraceful. As an example, there'd be no war with Russia.
Yeah, there'd be no war.
And Ukraine, there's no way I get along very well with Putin. I fully understand what's happening. It was the apple of his eye. He used to talk about it. But I said, you're not going in. And he wasn't going in. It's only because of Biden. He looked at this guy. He can't even believe it. But the same with Ukraine. I got along very well with Zelensky.
No, he didn't.
Very well. In fact, he came to New York 2 weeks ago. He came to see me. And I got along very well with him. I'm going to negotiate that thing out. That is now a death trap. You have cities that are all down. Those gorgeous golden domes, those magnificent domes are laying on their side all busted up after.
All right. Does anybody know what the fuck he's talking about? Because it seems like he thinks the Kremlin has exploded.
I don't know. They're 1,000 years old or something. The heritage, what's happened there. But many more people are killed than they're reporting. They knocked down, that was my business. They have apartment houses that are they're like 3 blocks, city blocks long. Not that tall, but pretty tall. And they are big. And they knock it down with a missile. And they say 2 people were slightly injured. A lot of people. The number of people.
Because they evacuate people, stupid. Because by the time those buildings are knocked down, they're actually being used by snipers and the like. Everybody's gone.
People dying in the Ukraine-Russia war is a far greater number than anybody knows.
Why don't you tell us? You know what? One of the verifiable numbers is how many Russian fighters have been lost. Why don't you tell everybody that number? Why don't you say that number out loud in front of this crowd? Say 800,000 Russian soldiers have died or been permanently removed from the battlefield because their injuries are so severe. The hands, the legs, the face, the buttocks. Why don't you tell that crowd that Vladimir Putin looked at our exit from Afghanistan, where we stopped paying $300 million a day to be there, and said, this would be a perfect time to go into Ukraine. I'll take that place in 6 days. And 3 years later, he's still got only the same territory he took. He's lost Russian territory and 800,000 soldiers.
And Biden has done nothing about it. He hasn't even spoken to Putin in over a year. Know nothing about it. And This is a war that has to end, and we're going to get that war ended. I'm going to try, and I think I can, get it ended as president-elect. In other words, before I even take over the White House.
Gibberish.
Got to stop the people from dying.
The Russian people, he means.
They said to me, well, whose side are you on? I was interviewed by fake news, CNN, you know, fake news. Uh-oh, their camera just went off. Their camera just went off.
That was Fox. By the way, the only people that are cutting, first of all, CNN doesn't live it doesn't show these live. C-SPAN does, I think. Fox starts to, and then they go, oh, fuck, and they bail out. The only people whose lights go off in these situations are Fox. That's the live light, not the recording light. Because most of the time, these are just taped. They don't take them live. RSBN does. Sometimes Newsmax does. But not often, because they're on a huge fucking delay. That's the other thing. All of these, one of the reasons why I think in some cases it seems like he's even later, or why he hangs out, is because he's giving Newsmax and these folks like a 10-minute lag point for when he comes on stage, so they start airing it, and then they can, they can cut out a big chunk or get out of there, like, because they got a 5-minute warning.
No. Their camera just went off. Okay. It always happens. Whenever I point to them, immediately they turn off because they know it. But I was Caitlin Collins, a nice person, but Caitlin Collins is interviewing me, and she said, well, whose side are you on? I said, it's not a question of sides.
It is a question of sides. There's an aggressor and there's a defender.
I want people to stop dying. That's
great. Then maybe call off your militias that are attacking the FEMA workers if you want people to stop dying.
So I want people to stop dying. And it was a very...
Then tell Russia to leave. This could end really fucking quick. You want to talk about a quick end? Russia gets the fuck out. 92 borders, done.
Interesting thing, because it was a CNN, it was like this, a smaller room, much smaller. This is a big room.
No, it's not.
This is a very big room, but...
No, it's not.
It was a much smaller room, but...
Yeah, it's a TV studio, shithead.
They had all people in there from CNN. Within the first 5 minutes, they were totally on my side, because it's common sense, and we're now the party of common sense. I say it. We're conservative, but we're the party of common sense.
No, they're not. They're the party of common misconceptions. If Trump thinks the FDA the FDA should operate on like the 5-second rule. Like, we should codify that in the law. If you drop food on the floor, as long as you pick it up within 5 seconds, it's still good to eat. That's the kind of common sense we're talking about.
We need walls. We want good education. We want low interest rates. We want to be able to buy a house. We want jobs. And you know what? We want a strong military. I rebuilt our entire military. And we want a strong military. And ideally a strong military that we don't have to use.
Right.
Is that even better? We'll have a strong military. If we don't have to use it, that's even better.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. It's fabulous. What? I mean, the Biden administration just sent THAAD missile operators over to Israel to protect them from Iranian missiles. Would you be against that? That would be a good question she could follow up with. Right? That would be a good question. The Biden administration just sent THAAD missile operators over there to protect in case Iran fires missiles at Israel. Would you have done that?
So, Mr. President, let's get back to our questions. We have Yanni, who's waiting to ask you a question, has been...
Oh, my God. He has the most fabulous mustache.
Waiting a long time. Yanni, welcome.
Is he going to play some smooth jazz? And is Zamfir there as well?
Just give them 1 second. Here they come. Right behind you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you for being here today, Mr. President.
Thank you.
To answer questions from all the voters of Pennsylvania and just
Yes, these are the only people that he believes will be voting in Pennsylvania.
to work hard and show support. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm a small business owner in Lansdale. I have a small breakfast lunch restaurant, Coffee Corner, and thank you. And to be honest, Mr. President, I really, am praying for you to get in there and change the policies. Ever since the gas prices started spiking, I noticed literally everything started spiking, from deliveries to services, goods, even maintenance, overall maintenance. Everything just spiked up, and it's really hurting small businesses, small business owners, and those who work within them. So my question is, what's your plan to help?
My question is, can I hold your balls in my lower jaw?
Bring common sense back and help small businesses that got destroyed by Democrats after COVID and the Biden administration.
So, great. Because small businesses are actually bigger than big businesses when you add them all up, and it's...
Yes, that's exactly. When you add them all up, they're altogether bigger than big business.
very important, and sounds like yours. I would love your food. I can tell by looking at that guy. I think I'd like to go over there. If I'm over there, I'm going to stop it. The fact is that, they want to get away from gas. And I have friends, they're into the cooking world. I'm not. I just like to eat.
Oh, okay. He means, and I presume this guy's food is, probably might, contribute to gas in some ways. But he means gas stoves, I presume.
Eat, but they're into the cooking, and I don't know how you feel. It sounds like they feel that gas is much better than the electric for cooking, right? And they have this thing about, they want to put gas out of business, right? No gas. The amazing thing?
No, they don't.
We don't have electric in this country, but we have all the gas.
What? We don't have electric? What do you mean? We haven't been able to lasso lightning? We don't have electric.
Gas you can use. We have oil and gas. That's what we have.
Yeah, you do know that electricity is produced through a myriad. We have sunlight too, which also produces electricity. We also have wind, and so, well, obviously that gives you bird cancer.
And even the cars, if you look, they want to go with all electric cars. California's having blackouts every week.
No, they're not.
Brownouts, blackouts.
And again, I think he heard a racist joke from Stephen Miller and took it literally.
And then they come up with rules and regulation to go to all electric, but they can't even supply what they have. It's so nuts. We're going to get, number one, your utility costs. You heard me say it before. Your costs will be down, and we're getting rid of all the electric. If you want electric, great. And if you want gas, great. The only thing you can't have is a hydrogen car, right?
Well, first of all, they're not available commercially yet, but why the fuck not?
You heard me say that, right? Because you know what happens? They have a new car, they say it's great, but it's got one problem. You know what the problem is? Every once in a while, one will blow up.
Yeah, unlike what, a gasoline-powered car? What?
And if it does blow up and you happen to be inside of it, you're in bad luck because you're not recognizable. Do you know that? It's the new thing, hydrogen. I said, no, thank you. I don't want it. I don't want. They called the wife. That's not my husband. Oh, yes, it is. It's no good. So
wait a minute. Does he think it blows up like a hydrogen bomb? Is that what he thinks? He thinks it's like it's a car that runs on plutonium?
If we get your energy costs, your energy
for real. Is that what? Fuck me.
Costs will be down by 50%. Your interest is going to come down, and people are going to start to make, not only you, people will have more money to go to your restaurant. You're going to have
They do already, dum-dum.
a great business.
That's why the cost of stuff has gone up. Because people have more money to spend. This guy used to not have any competition.
And during COVID, I was the one that worked out the loans. I don't know if you got one, but everybody, so many people.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, yeah, and they didn't have to pay him back.
People got millions of small businesses, and Linda McMahon was the head of Small Business Administration, which was a big business, but she was the head, and she was phenomenal. Linda McMahon was phenomenal. So
She was. Didn't help this guy, but, you know.
many people tell me about her that she was one of the best.
Are we going to find out this asshole started his business during the Biden administration with a loan that he got during COVID?
Secretaries. But Linda McMahon was in charge, and they loaned billions of dollars out to people with small businesses, and it was the greatest investment we made. It stopped us from going into a 1929 depression, which is exactly what we would have had. And she did a fantastic.
She did a fantastic job.
We're going to get
Fantastic job.
your costs way down. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Again, how? Did he answer that dude's question at all? Because the guy was talking about fuel costs, but then he went into like gas cooking versus electric stoves, which aren't as good for cooking. And then he went into electric cars, and you can't have a hydrogen car because it'll blow you to pieces. And that was it. And did you get one of those magic loans that Democrats fought for that he signed into law?
Yes. Mr. President, my state, I always tell people it's hot in the summer, it's cold in the winter, and it's a long ways to drive anywhere, which I think a lot of Americans are experiencing, that no matter what, you're energy dependent. And since Joe Biden has been in the White House and Kamala Harris has supported every single one of his policies, did you hear her on The View? Did you hear her say she wouldn't change a thing from what Joe Biden has done?
Yeah, because we recovered from a fucking pandemic. Now, all of their math, I would like to say for the record, all of their math, including, and I like in full culpability of my misspeaking earlier in the show, which I will absolutely cop to, but all of their math that they've discussed today totally excludes the pandemic's existence. Just pretends it never happened, that it had no impact on the finances of the country, on the availability of goods, that supply shock didn't fucking happen, that there was no supply chain issues, that oil wasn't negative $36 a fucking barrel in June of 2020.
It's cost the average American family $4,500 just in energy costs. Just in energy costs.
Okay. Hold it,
Oh, we have
please.
somebody.
A doctor, please. Doctor, thank you very much.
Okay, so this is the first medical issue that they have during this that I heard about. Somebody collapsed. I would like to take this time to remind you that this is the portion. Hold on. I don't know if they end up.
We have incredible people. They come here hours before, and it's a little
Yes, and they're not healthy.
hot. And so we...
And they're not even from the area. They can't even vote there.
they're with
Like her.
us all the way. We got to respect them. And you take your time, doctor. Take your time. Thank you very much. We always have great doctors in the audience. We've
You have to.
never had too much.
Because nobody has mistreated their followers more than this asshole. Jim Jones, I would say. And the HAL Bop folks. But that's it. That's the short list.
Much of a problem.
Do they just sit here like this the whole time?
Look at the quality of care we have. It's incredible when you think, right? These people, first responders. Our first responders are amazing, the way they can do things so beautifully and quickly.
Jesus Christ. Does he just not know how ambulances work at all? He's going to find out. He's in shit shape. And it, again, he's been to the doctor, lately more than they say.
Thank you. We'll get it taken care of fast. A lot of it's pretty easy to take care of.
Is it? Really? These kind of cases? You dumb motherfucker? Is it these kind of, stuff like this? When somebody collapses you know, 35 feet away from you in the stands and people are around them and you can't see anything. I mean, that's the perfect moment to make a fucking diagnosis. Things like this, they clear. There's nothing.
Hardest thing is going to be the border, though, in terms of the people that have been let in. The people that have been let into this.
What? Sorry. What, are these people coming across the border giving your followers heat stroke?
Country, what they're doing. Where do they come from? What are they doing? What's their thought process when they allow a thing like that to happen? Let's wait till they take care of this incredible person who I guarantee you is a great patriot. I guarantee it. Everybody in this room is a patriot.
Well, obviously, except the press and the staff that work there and the local police who he won't pay. Also,
thank you, darling. Thank you.
There's a dude having a fucking, like, vapor locking over to his left and people are yelling, "I love you, Trump." Hey, fuckwads, they're trying to help a person right now. Maybe chanting Trump doesn't help. Maybe fucking shut up? What the hell? These assholes would storm into an emergency room and start yelling USA.
Some problems. Some problems.
Yeah, you think? Thanks, Doc.
That looks a little bad.
Fuck me. We can't even see what they're seeing. If they're doing compressions on this guy and he's like, that looks a little bad.
That looks a little bit bad.
Jesus. Shut up. Who does color commentary on first responders? This is leadership, ladies and gentlemen. Also, this is not a big place at all. I mean, you could tell by just the volume of people in the center of this and like the size of him versus them. And this is a wide angle lens. They do this a lot to try and make it, you know, they fisheye it so the crowd looks bigger.
Don't worry, we'll extend for a little time, okay? We're not going to lose anything. We just want to make sure they're fine. This is a little bit of a tough one, I think. A little tough.
You're president because you care. Hey, asshole, if he cared, he wouldn't make people stand out in the fucking sun for 6 hours, show up late, and dangle like a dickhead and not pay for air conditioning. He'd be able to go back to real venues because he's paid his fucking bills if he actually cared. Instead of like having to use like warehouses that belong to friends of his. You wouldn't strand all those people outside of Coachella. Outside of Coachella. It wasn't Coachella. It was like the city of California, but people think Coachella. They think of the venue where the concerts happen. The manure farm outside of Coachella. What the fuck is wrong with you? Shut up! What? They're trying to save somebody's life. Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. What are you doing? Be quiet. Stop applauding. There's a person.
You know, while we're waiting, so we had a beautiful evening, and I don't know if they could get this song up quickly, but
oh dear.
If they could work really quickly backstage while we're waiting.
Can we play some hold music while they're treating this person? Fuck him.
Ave Maria. We had Ave Maria the other day in Butler, Pennsylvania. And Butler, we had 101,000 people. It was the most
No, you didn't. The place only holds 30, and it was about 21,000.
a celebration. I call Corey the firefighter.
Yes, because you can't bother to learn his last fucking name.
The chief, he was great.
The Chief. Corey the Chief. Just call him Corey the Chief. You think his last name is the Chief, dummy?
And if they could play Ave Maria, if you can get it, Justin, let's go if you can. It's a little quick notice. Ave Maria.
Does this asshole have any idea how fucked up this is? They're treating...
Hey!
Hey!
Hey! Great! We love that man. We love that man.
They revived him, and I guess they're walking him out, and they'll put him on a gurney, because the guy ended up being on the gurney. I'm not getting a fucking copyright strike because this asshole.
It's so beautiful, though, right?
It is. It's so beautiful. Just listen to music while someone's getting chest compressions and you know, being loaded onto a gurney and stuff like. It's just, there's something heartwarming about it. You know what I mean? It makes it's right up there with shooting a dog.
Listen to that. It's nice. He's gonna be.
Jesus Christ! In the fucking like Kristi Noem biopic, they're gonna play Ave Maria as she walks back behind the barn like some scene from The Godfather.
Okay, we have nice music. We're together. Not bad.
Yes.
Not bad.
I mean, he's bad, but we're fine.
Right?
No, not right, fuckwad. This is super weird. There's nothing normal about this. This is asinine. This is insane. This is embarrassing. Don't do this. If someone is being treated for a medical emergency, everyone shut the fuck up. Make as little noise as you can. Stay out of the way of the people trying to treat the person, and don't talk over them. Good God.
So beautiful.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, everybody, very
much.
much.
Thank you,
That's
everybody,
very
for your
nice.
patience. Yes. We'll be praying for him. Yep. Thank you, sir. Sir, as we talk about how things have gotten harder under this administration and how Kamala Harris's policies have been so dangerous for the American people, there's
Yes, it's Kamala Harris's fault that these assholes stood in the middle of nowhere in blazing heat, endangering their lives. Good Lord.
someone here tonight who wanted an opportunity to ask you a question.
Unfortunately, sorry.
Her name is Heather. And Heather, would you please stand? She's right here, and
Hi.
she is so thrilled to be talking to you tonight, Mr. President.
She so is.
Good evening, President Trump. My name is Heather, and I was a registered Democrat for most of my life, but not anymore.
She's on our
Look
side.
at now. Yes, I saw the light. I no longer identify
You know who saw the light? The dude they just carted off on a fucking gurney.
with the Democratic Party. They've put criminals and foreign enemies ahead of American citizens.
You mean like Vladimir Putin and the killers of Jamal Khashoggi and...
The border is the issue of this election because if we can't secure the border, we won't have a country. We know that you're going to finish the wall, but how are you going to handle the deportation of criminals?
Yeah. How are you going to handle it? Give us the rundown. What are you going to do? I'm guessing at the barrel of a gun and bayonet, big roundups.
So, if you've watched any of our last rallies, we have a Criminal Aliens Act of 1798. That's a long time ago. And it gives the president tremendous power to do what has to be done to secure our country.
Yeah, it's also been largely repealed and it's totally unconstitutional and it's absurd and it was put in place by the Federalist Party that no longer exists for good reason.
And you're right, so if you look at the polls, it says that the number one issue is the economy, number two is inflation, let's even put them together, and number three is the border. I disagree. I think I do agree with you. The number one issue this country has...
Well, he didn't even get the second one. And there's another person collapsing on the other side. Medic, medic, over that side. It's like a tennis match of people vapor locking. Somebody's yelling, somebody turn the air on. Also, maybe the campaign is in charge of that shit? Open the door or turn the air conditioning on. I'm guessing if it's fucking hot, it's going to be hot outside too. What?
No,
Fucking Mr. Dr. Crack a Window over here.
President is wondering.
Oh my God. And they just know that, like, all maggots will hear Ave Maria before they pass into the great beyond. Like all of them are gonna, oh my God, I think I'm gonna die right now. Why? I'm hearing Ave Maria. No, they're playing it in the restaurant. Oh, thank God. I thought it was just me. Oh my Lord. And the Secret Service are all freaking out like, this would be a great distraction. I'm just saying. Do one over there, and then the attack comes from this direction. Like, I guarantee at least one of them is thinking that. Jesus Christ. Is this a tough one too? He's not doing color commentary on this one? There's a bunch of people running over there. Wait, better with Trump. Imagine being in a fucking, I don't know, bagged out factory auditorium, wherever the fuck they are, and you feel a heart attack coming on, and the last thing you see before you lose consciousness is a giant sign that says, better with Trump. What are you gonna do, asshole? What are you gonna do? Stand and watch? What do you Near the stairs in case you need to make a quick run for the exit? Shit, if we have 3 die, this is bad luck. It always comes in threes. I gotta get out of here. Have some of my guys go. Yeah, no, asshole, we're here to guard you. Sorry. There's people for that. Ask one of my guys.
Thank you very much. Take your time, Doctor.
Also, what does he think he gets points for saying take your time? No, I'm gonna rush it for you. Please start singing Ave Maria. Please, please, because you think it has healing powers. Ave.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. Shut the fuck up. Stop it. It's gonna be good. What are you talking about? You don't even know what's going on. You have no information. I mean, what am I surprised about? This motherfucker can't remember fucking Corey Comparator's last name. Somebody just yelled Staten Island, New York. What? Get him to play Pavarotti right now? Or did he say get Dr. Pavarotti right now? Play the healing powers of Pavarotti.
Open the doors.
Yeah, no. No. They won't open the doors, dummy. The Secret Service closed them for a reason, stupid. How about pay for air conditioning, asshole?
I wish we could open those doors to outside.
To let more of the heat in? Look at it, and again, just the fucking total lack of leadership skills, nothing. Just no organization, just ping-ponging all over the fucking place. Just a fucking reach. And then he's got all these people sitting up here for the town hall. None of them have asked him a question. Usually in a town hall setting, these are where they station the people who are going to ask the questions. 2 of them came from the audience, and one of them came from there, like the black lady who we kept saying black over and over and over again at her.
Yeah, take your time, Doctor.
Go tell the doctor to move faster. I can't hear you over Ave Maria. It would seem in an emergency a bad idea to have a soundtrack, you fucking moron. What? Nothing. And this lovely lady has both of the, like all 3 of these ladies have a prime seat to see the total lack of just coordination, leadership, just what a waste of fucking flesh this dude is.
For security reasons, they can't. But you know what? I said just open them. Because anybody comes through those doors, you know what's going to happen to them.
They're going to have a heart attack from the heat. By the way, they're still not going to open them.
It looks like, sir, she's on her feet and walking out. Let's encourage her.
Thank you.
Let her know
Thank
we'll be
you.
praying for her.
Praying for what? For her to not be stupid enough to attend another one of these ridiculous gatherings, putting her life in danger?
And I know it's really warm in here. Everybody agrees that it's really warm in here. We've got a lot of people who love America. I'm going to ask that
Yes, and they're hot. They're hot with their love of America.
if you have a chair, maybe sit so everyone around you can sit and still see the president and ask him questions. Maybe that will help
Yeah, it's all this movement. You guys are so excited. You're heating the joint up.
us.
And we can spend a little more time.
Yes.
And personally, I enjoy this. We lose weight. You know? No, you lose weight. We could do this, lose 4 or 5 pounds. It's okay with me.
Kamala Harris is.
But some people have been waiting here for 2 days for this. So, you know, it's a little bit
Bull shit.
tough. It's a little bit tough, but they're going to try and get those doors open.
Yes.
And I don't know whose building this is, but if they had air conditioning, do you see any air conditioning?
They
Hey, asshole, I don't know. Maybe your campaign should check first. If they're going to have a bunch of fucking people in an enclosed space, make sure it's properly ventilated. You know, regulations.
probably can't afford it, sir, in this
I sort of-
economy.
Who the fuck is they? Nobody can build a building without proper ventilation. You just can't rent it for a fucking venue if it's not supposed to be one. And if you do, you're responsible for rolling in. You know, there are portable air conditioning companies that just roll in and cool places. They have, as a matter of fact, your fucking administration used them for COVID tents.
That's right. They don't want to give us air conditioning. It's too expensive.
They don't give you anything, you fucking commie. You have to pay for it. Your campaign pays for these venues.
It costs too much.
Then, okay, go somewhere else.
Anyway, but they're both okay. Yes. They're both in good shape.
And that's wonderful.
Would anybody else like to faint?
Fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
Please raise your hand.
Let's do it now.
Please raise your hand. You know what we could do, though?
Gee, I don't know. We could make everybody do jumping jacks.
If my guys can do it, how about we'll do a little music? Let's make this a musical fest. Oh, looky, looky.
Let's make this a musical fest. By the way, why is he thinking that? Why is that on the top of his fucking empty dome? Why is he saying musical fest? Well, he's saying musical fest because everybody's pointing to the fact that his Coachella gathering was not at the actual Coachella venue, but at a manure farm. And so where the actual music fest happens, Coachella, and he was not in the same place. So that's digging at him. Also, looky, what the fuck?
We'll do a little music. Let's make this a musical fest. Oh, looky, looky. Oh, that's great.
Oh, looky. That's great.
That's great. Because it's nice and cool outside, right?
Yes.
It's nice and cool. Why don't we do, and I mean this, if my guys can hear me, 2 things. Put up the chart, my favorite chart.
Oh, the one that shows you left office in April of 2020? Which is actually, people say it's false because he was technically president until January of 2021. But I would argue that he gave up giving a shit well before then.
My all-time favorite chart. And let's listen to Pavarotti sing Ave Maria. Can you hear that? They gave me the Ave Maria with no voice.
Like a bunch of assholes. They give you a building with no air conditioning, and they give you Pavarotti's Ave Maria without the Pavarotti in it, and the wrong chart.
There it is. That's my favorite.
Hey, asshole, why don't you put it on the screen right behind you?
Favorite piece of paper anywhere in the world. I sleep with it every night. I kiss it. And you see those numbers, by the way, for those that we talked about, the border, when you're talking about the border, look at the numbers. That was the lowest it ever was right there. That was the last.
Yeah, during 14 days to stop the spread because nobody was even counting, much less people crossing. Because we literally had pulled back like all the Customs and Border patrol people. Even if people came across, nobody was tracking them because nobody wanted to catch anything, so everybody was staying away. That was this point right there that you can see the little arrow right before the big jag goes up. That's April of 2020.
Last day I was in office, and we're going to get it lower than that.
No.
But we're going to let people come in. We're going to let people come in. So very.
By the way, you're watching HAL SPARKS Mega Worldwide. It's a special timing on this. I'm in Central Time right now, and so I gotta leave a little before 3. Just letting you know, it's 2:17 my time, so I'll do about a half hour more of this. If I have to pick up some of it later, I will. Tomorrow I'll have a regular morning show, and then there'll be like an early show like this. I might just extend the morning show because Phil can't be on into this kind of a show because my flight is later in the day, and I also have more parent-teacher conferences tomorrow. So just letting you know.
Very, very important. But there's one of my most favorite. If I didn't turn to the right, I wouldn't be here with you right now. Right. So
and if God had flattened the tires of the guy, he never would have even gotten there, and he might have gotten pulled over, and they discovered the guns, and he would have admitted what he did, and that would be that. And he'd be alive, and you wouldn't have a clip on your ear, and Corey Comparator would be alive.
Sort of a cruel world.
Sort of.
But I was very proud of that before the fact.
Sort of a cruel world.
Now, even if it had lousy numbers, I would love that piece of paper a lot. So put on Pavarotti singing Ave Maria. Nice and loud. Turn it up louder. We want a little action here.
Oh. A little action.
Turn it up louder.
What the fuck? Obviously, I'm not going to get a fucking copyright strike. Listening to this shithead play this whole song. What is going through Kristi Noem's head right now? Where's he going? Pointing to people. Pointing, also pointing. Pointing up. Turn it up, apparently. Hold on.
That's for your boy. Stand up.
That's for your boy, stand up. So he's making the Gold Star families stand up. And he's playing Ave Maria for them. And while it's playing, he'll call James Comer and say, hey, put together a committee hearing with Jim Jordan on what happened to this guy's... Oh, what? You've already had a briefing on it? Oh, there's nothing more to know and it's secret and that's why? I see. What the... Look at this shit. This is fucking amazing. He's just doing the... He's just standing there fucking waddling. Just like a broken windmill. Just standing there just... wiggling back and forth. What the... And again, I'm more concerned about Kristi Noem. Can you imagine what she must be thinking right now? Like, she's trying to make sense of this. This seems like he had this idea in his head. She can't interrupt it, right? How dare she interrupt it? Trump apparently just wants to stand on this stage. Listen, Harvey, my penis stopped working. Oh, I miss the porn star. Best 3 moments of my life. Oh, Shark Week. All alone. I'm singing Memories or something from Cats. I don't know Ave Maria. It's all never. Look at this guy's taking pictures of the crowd. The people just stood at attention, exciting, enjoying the Pavarotti singing. Wait, okay, is this the end of it?
Let's not do any more questions. Let's just listen to music. Let's make it into a music. Who the hell wants to hear questions, right?
It's the same questions anyway. These are people from the campaign. And I told them I didn't want to answer these questions. And they're going to send me another black lady, aren't they? I keep having to talk because we're trying to get blacks and Latinos. They keep making me talk to blacks and Latinos. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Flies and mosquitoes and black people.
Isn't that beautiful, though?
It's silly.
That's such a beautiful. And we played that in Butler, Pennsylvania. We had a moment of silence. And then we had the bells of Notre Dame.
Did you? You had the bells of Notre Dame play? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go off, and then we had a great opera singer, Christopher, who was so incredible. And
oh, Christopher, yeah.
Great opera.
Christopher. Yeah, you know Christopher. Christopher, yeah, Christopher Fosma. He's great.
Opera singer. That's Pavarotti. Pavarotti, I guess, is... I actually asked Christopher, I said, your voice is incredible. How does it compare to Pavarotti? No, sir. He was the maestro. He was the greatest of them all. And this man's voice, you all probably heard it. He was phenomenal. But
yeah, but he's no Pavarotti. That's what I told him. Hey, kid, thanks for singing in Butler, Pennsylvania at my thing, but you're no Pavarotti. Just remember that.
He said, no, Pavarotti was the greatest. Maybe we'll play Time to Say Goodbye when we end,
yes,
okay?
That sounds fantastic.
All right, do we want to do that?
Absolutely.
We'll have a little, instead of your normal, like, rock out of the place.
Yes.
Yeah, don't rock out of the place.
And then you're going to say, time to go to bye, then you're going to go vote, and we're going to win the state of, we win Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing.
Yes.
Right. We're going to win.
No, but they're not going to win Pennsylvania. He's going to lose Pennsylvania by like 120,000 votes.
We're going to win. If we win Pennsylvania, we're going to win the whole thing, right? So It's going to really be something. We just had some numbers coming out of Virginia, which is great. We have numbers coming out of we win this Commonwealth. We win the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We are in clover, and then we're going to fix our country.
We are in clover.
And we're going to fix it fast.
In clover? Roll me in the clover. Ha cha cha cha. He's turning into Ruth Gordon.
We're going to fix it fast.
Get away from me, you horse's ass.
So get that song done.
Okay.
Get that song ready, and when we leave, we're
going
to have a beautiful... You could just sit. And by the way, when we leave, you don't have to go so fast. You could sit and listen.
Wait a minute. When we leave... Okay, first of all, he never leaves. He stays on for all the music that plays. Secondly, the place is fucking hot, and that was the point. Is why, in theory, they were going to end early. And if he left, they could leave. But none of those people, especially the folks on the stage, can leave while he's still there. So if he wants people to clear out because it's too hot and it's unsafe and all that kind of stuff, the easiest thing he could do is fuck off.
We'll play a couple of songs. Some of you will be a little warm, but that's okay. It's not...
Jeez, some of you.
Not a bad thing. And if you want, we're going to do that, but I think it would be beautiful. Don't you think? A little different.
I think it'd be amazing, sir.
Nice to have him.
It would be amazing, sir. Yeah, I think so, too. After we've had 2 people collapse in this fucking dump with no air conditioning, you open the doors, let's just play some music while you stand here wagging your cock like an asshole.
Imagine. Isn't it a nice thing to have imagination? It's like...
Isn't it a nice thing to have imagination? Yes, these people are imagining the Trump of 2012, I think.
When Kamala's teleprompter went out the other day, she was at 32 days. Did you see that?
I did.
She loses teleprompters, and you wouldn't know that she lost it. I always lose.
Me lose, I lose, me lose.
You know, if you're a politician, you can count on 5% of the time you lose a teleprompter, sometimes really badly, like in the middle of a sentence, and you're saying, ooh, that's a good, you got to have a good memory. If you don't have a good memory, you can't be much of a politician. But they go out. Sometimes, if you're outside, the wind blows them down. I had one in Ohio. We had 45-mile-an-hour winds, and I said, I'm going to lose these suckers. And within about the first 2 sentences, they were gone. They
I remember
blew
that.
off the stage.
I was at that rally.
For Bernie Moreno, who's now doing very well, I understand,
He
the
is.
senator, so I think he's doing very well. But we'll listen to a couple of songs if you want, and that's okay with me. I like it. So we'll do that. We'll do those songs that we had mentioned, Justin. And if Justin doesn't get it right, he gets fired. Okay.
Sir, I have a quote that I like a lot by John Wayne. It says, "Life is hard, but it's harder when you're stupid."
Yeah.
I think that...
Yes, that explains a lot of how this entire town hall rally thing came off. Yes, life is hard. You got problems anyways. Heat traps, physics being what it is, that's going to happen. But if you're a fucking idiot who brings a bunch of people in ill health into a box like this and makes them wait and shows up late and cooks the fuck out of them and rambles on forever, people are going to pass out.
perfectly explains Kamala Harris, right?
Ooh.
It's Kamala. Kirsty.
Right, sir? Now, our life has been hard because of her, but can you imagine what it's like to wake up as Kamala Harris? How hard life must be? My goodness.
Well, we have to beat her. Look,
we do.
Have to beat her. She's not for this job. Everybody knows it. Look.
She's not for this job. You mean this is not the job for her?
Look, we're running against not her. We're running against a very powerful and a very corrupt machine. That's what it is.
That's right.
She's just, and the same thing with Joe Biden. Joe doesn't know where the hell he is. You know.
Well, apparently he knows that his signature's on the infrastructure bill and the CHIPS Act and the American Rescue Plan and the Inflation Reduction Act.
When you talk about Biden, he got 14 million votes. He won the primary, and we had a debate. His numbers were very bad, and it looked like we were going to win. You don't know what's going to happen, but it looked like he was down substantially. They went to see him, and they said, "You're getting out." He said, "I don't want to get out. I won. You're getting out." That was the overthrow of an American president. You could call it a coup, but I don't even call it that anymore
because it's not.
A lot of people say, "What the hell is a coup?"
Right? Yeah, people don't know. Your folks don't know what a coup is at all.
You can call it that, but it was really basic.
Yeah, if you call it that, your own followers are too stupid. Obviously, life is hard, but if someone brings up the word coup, it's harder.
The overthrow of an American president. And frankly, she's doing horribly right now. You saw 60 Minutes where they replaced her answer with another answer. She's doing horribly. I have a feeling.
You mean like Fox and Friends cut out your Epstein answer?
He might have done better than her. Let's see what you have to see what the end is. Maybe
she's going to win.
Maybe they made a good move. But
oh yeah, they made a good move. Well, Biden made a good move.
When they talk about a threat to democracy, how about where they take a candidate who won fair and square, they throw him out, and they put up a woman who failed, was the first one to drop out of a...
Who gives a shit? That's party politics. That has nothing to do with democracy. If a party, like, look at you. You got to guarantee who you would run against and where. You still lost 40% of the vote to Nikki Haley, right? You didn't debate any of them.
Field of 22 and got no votes. And this
right, she dropped out early and then she joined the ticket because she was better in that, as a part of the ticket as opposed to chipping away at Biden during it and damaging both of them.
This is the person we're running against. And she...
Right, he built a coalition and he gave us the first vice president woman of color. Awesome.
Is not a
totally qualified.
Smart woman, that's true. And we've had that for 4 years. We're not going to have it for another 4 years. We're not going to have it.
That's right. So we're not going to complain about things. We're going to fix them.
That's right. No complaints. We're not going to complain about the fact there hasn't been a commission to deal with whatever that Gold Star family's son's death was about. We're just going to pretend he wasn't president once already and could have done it then.
Right? We're not going to complain. We're going to fix them. And you are going to fix them right here in Pennsylvania by showing up and voting for President Donald John Trump.
Well, a good portion of the people there aren't from Pennsylvania. Just saying.
We're going to make America great again. Right?
Those doors are open. That feels good.
It does.
I feel it right now. I don't know who's out there trying to get in, but you know what I feel? Doesn't that feel nice?
Yes.
And you don't even have, there's nothing like outdoors. You don't even have the cost of an air conditioner if they have them in this beautiful factory. Anyway, go ahead, please.
Yep.
In this beautiful factory. Again, that somebody gave him a contribution by letting him use their facility for his rally, and he's not paying for it, and they're not paying any of the fees for the fucking place. Like, they didn't even pay to turn the fucking air conditioning on, or the person didn't want to turn the air conditioning on because they knew that they would stiff him.
Well, sir, do you want to play your song and then greet a few people, or do you want to? Well, you had said you wanted to close with a specific song. Or
Okay,
we
let's
could
do a
take
couple of
two more
mine.
fast questions.
So, Justin, how about a couple of really beauties? And we'll
Of really beauties. Looky, looky, really beauty.
sit down, relax. Let me just give you the bottom line, though. We win Pennsylvania. We win this great Commonwealth. We are going to win the whole ball game. It's such an important place. And we relate. And we are up in the polls
And we relate?
fairly nicely.
No, they're not.
Fairly nicely. But
He's not up in the polls in Pennsylvania.
it's really important. And we're going to turn this country around. It's the greatest movement in the history of our country, MAGA, Make America Great Again. When Biden would go on, he used to go on, say, we will stop MAGA. We will stop, remember with the purple background, the pink and purple.
Pink and purple. Yeah, I remember that. You guys remember that? It was pink and purple. Remember the pink and the purple? Some people would call it red. I wouldn't. I would call it pink and purple.
He looked like the devil, right?
He totally did. The pink and purple devil. I miss Prince.
But she's worse than him, remember it. But they would say, we're going to stop MAGA. They go, MAGA means Make America Great
again.
I mean, what are you going to stop?
Yeah, right. And Nazi stands for National Socialist. You'd think it'd be more popular, I guess, with a certain group of people. And yet...
And we are indeed going to make America great again.
Yes, and the Nazis were nationalists and they were socialists. Sure.
America has never... We're
That's what it means. I mean, come on.
a declining nation right now. We're a nation in decline.
No, we really aren't.
And we're not going to be in decline for long.
Well, we aren't right now, so yes.
Let me tell you, every country respected us 4 years ago.
No, everybody, well, they told you they would respect you in the morning and then they didn't call, did they?
We were energy independent.
We are now.
Had everything. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country.
Yeah, no, we had COVID 4 years ago.
We're going to bring it back bigger, better, and stronger than
You're going to bring COVID bigger, better, and stronger? No, thank you.
ever before. Go and vote. Let me hear that music, please. Let me
Everyone,
hear
let's
that
thank
music.
President
Loud,
Trump.
Nice and loud.
God bless you. Let's send President Trump back to the White House.
Squirt, squirt.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, now, this song. How many people have seen, chat room, how many people have seen Step Brothers? The fucking Catalina wine mixer. Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes. What is this? And he's going. Yeah, goodbye, Gramps. Goodbye. This is such a weird, this is a weird fucking song if you expect to win. This makes no sense if you think you're winning. This is super fucking odd. This is basically like, I'm leaving here and I'm never coming back to Oaks, Pennsylvania. Who gives a shit? Fuck this place and I'm not gonna win. Time to say goodbye. Like, this is, Jesus Christ, it's like a funeral dirge. It's so odd. And he just, people are taking pictures, and so he just decides to stand next to her, and like, it's so fucking odd. And the pullback shot, Are they having somebody else pass out? Yeah. It looks like somebody else, they're having another medical emergency on that side of the room. Look at that. People are pointing. Like, hey, there's a... Oh, and this lady's doing a heart, but they're also pointing at somebody who's like... I can't tell if they're fucking waving or pointing. This is so fucking stupid. Jesus. How? All right, somebody, maggot, somewhere, explain this to me. The shit is like, what is happening? I feel like I need, where would it be? I need like crickets. I need a cricket sound. And okay, so at one point he goes over and he starts, that lady's videoing, doesn't realize she's videoing his crotch right now. And then, when they've got a star filter on it, that's definitely RSBN's feed. And then she didn't get to ask a question with a microphone, so she gets to ask him in person. This is my daughter. She would like your sperm. Jesus Christ. What is happening? It's like holding your daughter's head like she's a character in The Ring. Uh-oh. He's gonna... Hold on. His mic's off. They killed his mic because they're afraid he'll hot mic himself. So that was a smart move. Whoever did that. Cut the mic. This is a man's world. Jesus. Did you see that? This is a man's world. And he went, like that.
Nothing without a woman or a girl.
It's a man's world, but it ain't nothing without a woman or a girl. Fuck, man. Does this asshole realize? Does he have any idea? Because they're going to play YMCA next, and it's a huge gay anthem about hooking up. Jesus. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. Yes. But enough about the showers. Good Lord. What the? Wait, don't leave. She's trying to get the fuck off stage. She's like, stand right here. Wait. Okay, hang out. Don't go anywhere. Grab your mic and we'll say something in between two of these songs. What the hell? And I can't play the music because I'll get a copyright strike. Oh God. She does this a couple times. She does his little stupid like ballad, like the like fat old guy at the club version of the lighter, you know, instead of holding up a lighter, we're all singing together. Stick a finger in your butt, hey, all right, and waddle, people love it when I do the waddle, like a broken compass. I don't know which way to point. Hello. I'm just going to stand here and bask in... It's like a test. This is somewhere between like a jackass prank and something Andy Kaufman would do just to ruin a show he didn't want to do on purpose. This is like it's like he's become Tony Clifton. And he's just going to waddle. What else is this? Yeah, still playing. He's just still playing It's a Man's World. Standing there, and she's waving at people. What? Kristi Noem. I want, please. If this was like one of those, if this is like a movie like Interstellar, we'd fast forward to a scene where Kristi Noem is an old lady sitting there. That was a strange day. He started, wait.
This has been an honor tonight. We could do another question or two if you'd like, but probably. Do you want to do one? Do you want to do? Let's go. Let's go. You know, it's. But it.
Look at her. She's like, where the fuck?
About this, we'll play YMCA, and we'll go home. But listen, whatever you can do, get out there. We have to win. This is important. This is the most important election in the history of our country.
Yeah, and that's why you're playing 3 songs at the end of your rally in a swing state you desperately need to win before playing YMCA and acting like a jackass after 2 people have passed out at a venue that you rented for your gathering that you didn't bother to ventilate or air condition.
And you know what? I never thought I'd say it again. I said it was 16. We then fixed the border. We did everything. We had a great economy. It was...
Fix the border. Your wall made it worse.
Good. For 20, we didn't have to say it. By the way, we got millions of more votes in 20 than we did 16. But there's never been spirit that we've seen like this, and that's because we saw how bad they are. They are so bad, and frankly, they're evil. They're evil. What they've done, they've weaponized our elections. They've done things that nobody thought was even possible. So
yes, what your followers think it's not possible to beat you fair and square. That's what you're talking about.
We're going to go. We're going to vote. We're going to have a good time. We're going to make our country gay. This is going to...
He's going to make our country gay again. Well, there you go. That explains so much. We're going to make our country gay again. That's... look, if you're going to do that, I got to say, YMCA, one of the greatest ways to do it.
We're going to go. We're going to vote. We're going to have a good time. We're going to make our country gay. This is...
He almost did like lyrics. We're going to have a good time. We're going to hang out with all the boys.
I want this to be a really important evening. And those 2
well, too bad, motherfucker.
people that went down are patriots, and we love them.
How do you know? How do you know they weren't like moles or people watching just for the sake of it? Maybe they passed out because they couldn't stand what the fuck you were saying.
And because of them, we ended up with some good music, right? Right?
What?
So play YMCA. Go ahead. Let's go. Nice and loud.
Yeah, they cut it off on this feed because, Jesus Christ. Is that the whole thing on here? So this is when he finally comes out, and this is where he leaves, I guess. Hold on. Oh my God. And then they keep, this is where they play, where is it? There's this. Okay, so that's Man's World. There you go. Okay, so he's like, let's play YMCA and we'll go home. All right, fine. So they play YMCA. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. Bang, 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 bang. You know, you don't think those hits are meaningful to the lyrical content of the song? So he wanders around a little bit. They play YMCA. She thinks she's done. Oh, he does the white man overbite. He doesn't know how to spell YMCAs. What did he say? Hold on. His mic's still dead. Derp, 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 derp. Hey, come here, you. Hey, I'll give you a little piece of this. Ooh, hey, what? Hey, can you find somebody to get them to play my hot list? I think I can get some action here. This is the best action I've seen since that Epstein party where we danced together. How about that? Can you go over and tell them, play all the songs they play in the beginning? Yeah, and then I'm just going to make everybody stand here. We're going to see. I got a bet going with Eric how long I can make these assholes stay here. Do that dance. No, he's not going to do the letters, stupid. He's going to do this weird thing, the jerk-off dance. By the way, do you know why they play music at the end of Trump rallies to cover this sound. And this continues to go on. They're very excited because they all think they're going to go home. They all think once this song is over, look, this is their commitment. They made their commitment. They're going to stay there. He's their hero. They're going to make it through. God damn it. They're going to make it through. And yet, nope. Ladies and gentlemen, that song ends and they play another song starts. After that, yay, it's okay, over. And we're through. Bye, everybody. Nobody's leaving. Nobody's leaving. Nobody's leaving. And we play the song. Hold on. Wait. What does he say?
Nobody's leaving. What's going on? There's nobody leaving. Keep going. Keep going. Should we keep going? All right, turn that music up. Turn it up. Great song.
It goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift.
What the hell? Hallelujah? Jesus. Oh, God, this is fucking embarrassing. Okay, and then they go through this, and he just walks around and stands there like an asshole. He points at people while Hallelujah is playing, and some people, that lady behind him is singing, and he's pointing, waving and hey. And they won't leave till you leave, sir. Look at, no, they won't leave till you leave, sir. I don't care. Okay, let me hear ya. Hallelujah, that's wonderful. And we're standing here, and it's wonderful, and we're standing here, and we're fine. Just one more song. Okay, bye, everybody. Thank you. Oh, it's so good. We'll just end it at this, and we'll wave. And then when we're done, it's all over, and everybody can look at the 900 people that are in this fucking room, and he won't leave. And then the song ends, and then the next song starts, which is what? Oh my God, fuck you. He's playing Sinead O'Connor's version of Nothing Compares to You. Yeah, I'll give you a hand job. Yep, who wants a hand job? I'm just gonna stand here like Mussolini with my jaw up, trying to hide my nunt. And I go, Boris is like, sir, you probably want to stop now because this is fucking, get out of here, Boris. What do you know? I'm a master of ceremonies. All right, well, okay, we'll do this, and then we'll have one more, there we go, and then we'll do the dance, and then the thing, and we'll do this, and then just, well, okay, yay, it's all over. Still hanging out. Fucking. Oh, look at this. They're all like, let's get the fuck out of here. And he's like, one more song. And the song is playing.
Old times are my way. Sing it, fellas.
Sing it, fellas. I feel like I got an obstruction in my colon. Sing it, fellas. And so the end is near, and now I face the shower curtain. It's my favorite Chris Bono joke. I've got no future, got no hope, got the runs, and I hope one day some orange asshole will have fun while he's waddling at my songs looking like an old worn out version of me. And he'll turn to Kristi Noem and can I grab you by the play? And you know that someday. Point. Yep, I'm gonna stand here. Boink, boink, boink. And what song? Jesus. Everybody's doing that whole like, this song is longer than I remember. That's the timing of it. What? Can you sign this? Yeah, it's a bill for overtime because they said we would be out of here by now. Bob. What was that? Suck it. It's just like, hey, you got me. Look, you're filming this? Get this on camera. Look at this. I've got a bet with Vladimir Putin that I can make people wait longer than he does. And he's going to buy me a building if I can make these assholes stay here. And every song they think it's over, and it's not.
Overtime hours.
Motherfucker. We gonna play a country song up in Pennsylvania. Right? Huh? Right? Huh? Right? We're in Pennsylvania. Right? Huh? You like this song? Jesus Christ. He's just... Oh, this is fucking brutal. Okay, I have to go in like a couple minutes and just get this over with. Shit. And then there's one more. He does November Rain, right? Overtime hours for second-hand pay. Shitting in my hat. Calling it gay. I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Just somebody blame Kamala for my life. And I don't like her. I don't want to like her. I don't even know why I'm standing here. One more song. Anything by... Oh, everybody needs some time. All alone. Boy, you're gonna need some time. It's hard to hold a candle and know the flame. Oh my fucking God, he's high as a kite. I love this song. Oh, yeah. What are you saying? Oh, yeah. I play this song and the chicks dig it. Yeah, it's true. Back in the 90s is the last time I got puss. Yeah, without having to pay like ahead of time. You guys, hey, hand job for you. People love this song. Yeah, they totally do. Anyways, let's just... Everybody needs some time all alone. Oh, everybody needs some time. Rum-de-dump, rum-de-dump, bum-ba-bum. Bum-ba-bump, bum-ba-bum-ba-bum. Jesus Christ. They're not even at the rumpa-bump. Fuck it. We gotta go. What song would you like? It's like the fucking karaoke list for the place. Look at him like, oh, this song got guitar in it. I need someone. Oh, I love the do. Flies. I told you, he's becoming Phil Hartman's Frankenstein. Okay, this is a big finish. Everybody's gonna love this, and I'm gonna leave. You like this, huh? You like this song? So exciting. Look at the guy behind him. Fuck. What the fuck? Okay, bye. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Yeah, bye. Don't. They're like, don't go by the door. Don't go by the door. Sorry, sir. That was it. Holy shit. Wow. Well, thank you guys for joining me for this special edition of HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. Woof. I got to run, but Jesus Christ, what a mess. I will see you guys later on. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. I really have to sign off quickly and get out of here. Okay, because I don't want to be late. Much love. Take care of yourselves. See you soon. Okay.